Hi.
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday to you.
I don't know if we sound good or bad or if we can hear. Are we being heard?
Oh, you had to
Yeah, we
redo a
are.
bunch of shit?
What? I've been retooling everything again. Can you guys hear me okay? I hope you can. Is anybody out there?
Mm-hmm.
How you feeling?
I'm good.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Well, that's great.
How about
I'm glad
you?
to hear. Yeah, I'm doing great. Archival Raccoon is with us. And
Oh, that's
Bobo
nice.
was here. I've been praying to the gods for Bobo to come back.
Oh, yeah.
So Bobo's here.
That's wonderful. Now, where the hell have you been?
Where you been, Bobo?
Explain yourself.
I'm going to need to ask you to sign up for, what do you got? I need to be able to track you. I'm going to need to track you. I'm going to get my flock cameras on you.
Don't do that. Don't threaten people.
Rich
with
people are
that.
buying flock cameras and putting them up in places where they want to watch people. Mm-hmm. People are just openly like surveilling one another now. That's what's going on.
So the biggest thing that I've noticed in these most recent times in America is that everything that the radicals and the socialists and the anarchists have said for like 30, 40 years is true. Because for the longest time they've been saying like, guys, you don't understand. The police exist to protect the wealthy, and that's it. And everybody else gets stomped under the boot. The only reason why that job exists is to protect wealth and capital and nobody else. And here you said that rich people are buying flock cameras, which are in the police network, to protect them and their place. And the police are like, and the cities that have these contracts with flock are like, yo, absolutely. Yeah, totally. Put your place in our network so that we can better protect you, since that's what we're doing.
Isn't it crazy?
They were right. This whole time they were like, no, to protect and serve the community. Nope. Never once was it about that.
Isn't it crazy? Mm-hmm. I think that's fucking...
It's just like, it's a bit of like it's sad because it's a bit of like, the myth of Cassandra, right? Where like they've been right all along and nobody would fucking listen to them. Bunch of Cassandras.
What is that? What is that reference?
It's a myth. Cassandra was trying to warn people and nobody would listen to her. Every disaster movie starts with people ignoring the scientists who are saying like, there's a giant monster under the sea and it's going to stomp all your buildings in your city. And everyone's like, get out of here, dude. It's like
Get the hell out of here.
I know. Every single disaster movie, fucking Jurassic Park has like scientists being like, just because you can make it doesn't mean you should. Yes, okay, you can splice dinosaur DNA and create dinosaurs, but have you ever stopped to think that maybe that would be a disaster? And everyone's like, get the fuck out of here. We got money to make.
By the way, check out this virus we're about to crack.
Yeah, exactly.
This thing is going to be deadly.
Cassandra's everywhere.
I never heard that before.
If you just open your eyes and witness them.
You guys know too much. I never heard any of that before in my life. I've been around. I've been around a good minute.
It's a trope in movies. There's always the scientist who is right all along when nobody listens to them.
Oh, yeah. So they were named Cassandra?
No. Cassandra is a myth. It's an ancient myth. I can't remember right now. I remember learning this a long time ago. Not when I was a kid or anything, so don't feel bad.
Not when you were a kid?
No. Let me see. What stories do you have today?
So many. Piles of stories.
Piles of stories? I have some stories today.
Yeah.
That I've been saving and not telling you deliberately so I can get your reaction.
Great.
For everybody.
A lot of Hayden Panetierre's death still hanging around.
We learned how to pronounce her name.
She's man. So apparently the DEA is involved now.
Oh.
And they are investigating her death.
Oh, yeah, because
police showed up at her boyfriend's house, the one who is currently charged with felonies of domestic violence against her. And who, by the way, he tried to have those charges reduced and then dismissed. He tried to get them to reduced into misdemeanors and then booted from the court. and the judge was having none of it. This right after her death. Now, he was planning on that while she was living, and apparently the two had been, despite this violent history they have, the two have been, they were dating even during the promotion of her memoir. And her reps were like, yo, you got to keep that shit on the QT. Not good for memoir sales. So,
right.
Yeah.
And the only reason why we're hearing anything about this guy is because she died. And now that's all in the news. Right.
Well, and the police showed up at his house. I don't know if that means anything at all, but 2 cops were seen at his house yesterday, I think it was.
Well, so he's probably on probation, right?
No idea. I don't know, because I don't think he's...
If he's already been in trouble with the law, then he probably is on probation. And so cops showing up at your house when you're on probation is not unusual.
I don't think he's on probation. Yeah.
I looked this up. Cassandra.
Okay.
Cassandra was a Trojan princess and a priestess of Apollo.
Oh.
She had received the gift of true prophecy.
Well.
When she rejected the god's romantic advances, he cursed her so that no one would ever believe her warnings.
So she knows.
So she's a prophet.
So she's the one screaming madly in the streets?
Yes, and then her curse is that no one ever believes
You're
her.
going to die, you're all going to die. And everyone's like, would you shut up?
Maybe it's not always you're going to die, but like you're going to forget the muffins in the oven and they're going to burn. And the person's like, whatever. Just continuing on.
Well, it's just muffins. So you can whatever that. It's the prophecies that okay, here's a prophecy that, here's a prophecy gone bad. I'm like, I'm going to buy some of this Bitcoin. This is in 2010, something like that. I'm gonna buy some of this Bitcoin, all this what they're talking about. But
all this hoopla about Bitcoin.
Because it just released in like 2009. Mm-hmm. So I'd have gotten it for like under $1 per Bitcoin.
There's this newfangled coin. Have you heard of it? It's called Bit. I think I'm gonna pick up a few of them.
But here's the thing, like, to the point, I'm trying to find a way to buy this Bitcoin that everyone's talking about. And then I'm like, nah, fuck it, whatever. Mm-hmm. And in that moment, in that decision, I could have potentially cost myself millions, even billions of dollars, because I think I was going to put like $200 or $300 or $400 in, which would have landed me thousands of Bitcoin, thousands of them.
There's something you have to know. There's this psychological principle to which we are all confined. Okay? All of us do this. It is a very predictable pattern. And it is that when you are regretting not making a choice, your brain will just create an alternative reality in which the choice you didn't make was an awesome one. There's no part of anybody's brains ever creates the alternative reality of the choice that you could have made in which everything went disastrously wrong and you ended up worse off. It's the nature of choosing and regret that goes hand in hand. Because you have made a choice, you are just automatically going to assume the choice you didn't make was a better one. This is something we all do.
Well,
and it's a trap.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about that because it only came up in this.
No, but you're saying if you had bought Bitcoin then, there is no way to know that you wouldn't have started to try and tend to your Bitcoin and played the market and did the thing that everybody else does, where they ultimately, very easily can lose all their fucking investment and it turns into shit and it turns into nothing. You end up losing all the, that happens to a ton of fucking people.
Let me save you some breath on this. I would have lost the Bitcoin because I would have lost the computer because at the time when you bought Bitcoin, you had to download it to your computer, and so your computer was the wallet.
Oh yeah, there's a guy.
Yeah,
there's a guy who lost
has multi-billion dollars.
His drive or something ended up in the trash somehow.
The hard drive, yeah.
Is that the story?
Yes, and he's been refused multiple times, and he writes to go and excavate for it. He was like, I'll pay for it.
Oh, that he wants to go to the city dump and excavate to try to find his hard drive.
Because if he finds it, there's more than $1 billion worth of Bitcoin on it.
See what I mean? But see, nobody ever thinks about that being the alternative, right? The guy's life is ruined because now he's constantly obsessed. It's like the ring in the Lord of the Rings, right? He's like, I know I have this thing of massive wealth and I can't fucking claim it. Oh my God. Dude. What a curse. But nobody ever thinks that the choice that they could have made is would ruin their life. It'd be totally disastrous that way.
There's one guy who went onto social media, whatever the social media was at the time, and like maybe it was like, well, whatever, MySpace. But he went on social media like 2010, maybe 2011, after buying a pizza for something like 1,000 Bitcoin or whatever it was. And it's like the video's out there.
1,000 Bitcoin. So what would that be?
Today?
Yeah.
It was like $1 billion. Yeah.
$1 billion pizza.
It was like, now, if it wasn't 1,000 Bitcoin, it was like 100 Bitcoin. Like it was some outrageous number that you cannot fathom today. But yeah, I mean, you think that guy doesn't think about it every single day? You think he doesn't think about it by the bite? Like, let me see, what would that be by bite? Like he'd like go buy the same sized pizza from maybe even the same pizzeria and like take a bite of it and then like take all the normal bites you would and count them and then basically like work out your loss per bite.
That's amazing.
Like every swallow was $120 million or
every single shred of cheese melted onto that pizza.
$10 million.
$10 million little shred
of cheese. I just spilt some sauce on the floor. That was $250,000 worth of Bitcoin.
Yeah, fuck that, dude. I am not made for these games. These like, it's just gambling. Everybody's like normalized this like method of gambling, but it just seems super destructive. I couldn't do it.
The Junkyard Farm is with us tonight.
Oh, nice. So
nice to see him. Says Elon is totally paranoid about FAA public data on where his plane is.
Oh man, so here's the thing though. Here's the solution.
Yeah.
Maybe stop being an absolute fucking maniac. Stop being a menace to the global society, right?
Yeah.
Maybe just quit ruining everything for everyone, and then you won't have to worry about people making attempts on your life. It's that easy.
It really is. It's that simple.
Mm-hmm. Don't be a terrible person. People won't wish you dead. You won't have to worry about whether they know your plane landed in their city.
So his comment was, it was Elon is totally paranoid about FAA public data on where his plane is.
You know what's incredible about him? I'm sorry. Were you reading?
Absolutely not going to let me finish. Okay, no, go ahead.
I thought that was it.
No, it was my second attempt. I was going to take another.
Go for it, bro. Let's hear it.
To finish Junkyard Farm's comment. Part 2.
Go ahead.
I'm just going to start over. Elon is totally paranoid about the FAA public data on where his plane is. Only going to take one time for some stalker to use flock or hurt on the oligarchs and watch how fast they switch sides. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. So he's saying like as soon as somebody uses flock
when they switch
to
sides
get one of them
on mass surveillance,
that should get shut down. Hurry.
I actually have a story about this.
True.
This is really, really great. There's a guy. Let me see if I actually saved this. There's a guy who developed a surveillance on flock. It's so great.
Get the flock out of my house.
Shit, where is it? Fuck, I can't find it. Anyway,
there's a lot of that in
It's an app that you can use that runs the license plate numbers of any of these big SUVs and trucks and stuff, and you can tell if it's a cop car and what agency that they work for, and where and who's driving it. It's really great. Because
frightening. Come on.
Because these officers are assigned.
Yeah. I know it's great in terms of like on the one hand.
No. What's great about it is they're like, oh, you guys just want one-sided mass surveillance? What if it didn't work that way? What if you had to eat the whole plate if you wanted to serve us some shit? I failed at that.
You tried.
I tried, and that's what counts. I did my best, which was shitty. Anyway, one thing that's amazing about Elon Musk is that he can't ever buy, with all of his money, wealthiest man on the planet, can't ever buy a sense of security.
A sense of security?
He can't buy a sense of safety. He certainly can't buy any like self-esteem or confidence. I mean, the guy is like constantly defensive. He just seems like a very miserable person. Like he's very uncomfortable in his own psyche. And I just think that
didn't-
that's
AOC just said some shit about him. Did you hear about it?
no.
She said that he is like, first of all, I think she said something like he's the stupidest billionaire. She's met a few, I suppose. And she's like, he's the stupidest one she ever met. The most insecure of them all.
Yeah, this is
like
true.
she just went down the list. She was like,
he
this
seems
guy is
so insecure. It's crazy.
utterly pathetic.
I just know that if I had a fraction of his wealth, I would do a lot better than he is. And it's just amazing that you just can't buy those things, you know, those like very basic comforts.
So I've been saying on this live for a while now that I'm loving this whole flock rebellion. Like the flock rebellion to me is one of the coolest things ever. I subscribe to it on Reddit and I'm just watching every day gleefully as the citizens rise up against surveillance.
I have an item for you on this.
So I've got one for you that I'm about to share that I think is the greatest one. That I think this might be the GOAT. Like this might go down legendarily as the most greatest moment in the flock rebellion.
Tell me.
All right. Darth Vader showed up at San Diego's city council to expose its surveillance empire. The Emperor is a fan of flock, and we must continue utilizing flock technologies so that we can follow and surveil the rebel scum, Vader said during the meeting. So Darth Vader showed up as a proponent, as a supporter of flock surveillance.
You know, it's like you're never gonna get through to these council members. Here's my.
You gotta allow some entertainment.
No.
San Diego.
It's really, really great. It's
Come
San
on.
Diego, so that's perfect. He
Come
probably
on.
has like his costume is probably on fucking point.
Come on, it was Darth fucking Vader. It was Darth Vader.
He takes it to Comic-Con he probably has like the voice box and everything. It's probably amazing.
Oh, I don't know if there's video. I haven't even checked. If there's video, I'm gonna play it.
But here's the thing, you know how there's all these like a bunch of stories about council members who will like hold a meeting about the flock cameras, and then they'll have like 200 people or like max capacity or whatever people show up to protest,
Yeah.
and they will still vote for the data center or the flock cameras or whatever the fuck that nobody wants.
Right.
I believe that these people I think their life is being threatened. I think that all these council members, they're either being paid so much money that they don't give a fuck about any consequences, which is a lot of fucking money when you think about these small communities.
Yeah.
It just seems weird. I saw one council member who was talking about her vote and she was tearful.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, this might be different. I wonder whether they've been threatened. Because, you know, the police are fucking scary when they want to be. And they want to use all this flock surveillance. So it might be that they put pressure on these council members. You know, council members are just like regular people that barely fucking pays that job.
Yeah.
So if they were like, we know everywhere you go and every member of your family and where they go, and we can make your life hell if you don't vote for this type shit. This is what I think is happening. I think that there's a problem where we're not aligning with the people who are voting and wondering like blink twice if you're held captive, you know? Like I wonder why they're voting against their entire community. They're risking so much socially to do that. There must be a reason.
Well, you know, I showed you the video of the cop who he's offering $1,000 reward, and he's doing a little, what do you call it, a little press, whatever, announcement, I don't know, whatever. And he's, you know, so
A little press conference?
A little press conference, yeah. And he's got the vandalized flock camera on the table in front of him. And he's going on a diatribe. He's like, these are there for your safety. These are there to assist the police in being able to reinforce the laws of violent criminals that are coming here to get you. That's what you're doing here. That's what you're doing here. He was totally Southern guy. He was like, that's what you're doing. Now I'm gonna pay $1,000 cash
to catch the varmint that did this.
to any information that leads to the arrest of this scumbag.
I saw one of these, like a similar post where they're like, police are reaching out to the community for help about how who maybe had taken a fucking jigsaw or whatever to the pole of one of these flock cameras. And this guy, this guy retweeted it. He was like, I don't know, man. It looks like something maybe the weather just did. Like maybe they're flimsy or some shit and it just got knocked over. And it's like clearly like sod, you know?
It's like, you know how they get like some of them people spray the whatever in it, that like foam. Mm-hmm. You'd be like, people will be like, I don't know, that looks like deer dung to me. That looks like somebody had a belly ache.
I saved this one for you. This is really delightful.
Let me just once again show everyone. This is the Darth Vader. Here he is. And for your viewing pleasure, this is just for the YouTube viewers. There it is. He does it. You're right. It's banging. It's a banging look. I wonder if he did the. I would love it. Oh God, I would love it. Hey. But she's laughing a lot, and I love the other dude who's like fresh out of 1967. Like just got here from 1967. Amazing.
That's really great. I think you scooted the camera today. Because I'm a little off screen, huh? Don't you think?
Oh, yeah. Look at that. You hold still. You guys are going to have to wait in on this. All right, watch this. You guys are getting some behind the scenes shit now. Son of a bitch. Some shit. Now the whole thing's ruined. All right, guys, we're going to start the live over. Are you ready?
Stop it.
Hi, Angela. How was your weekend? Oh, wait, it's Thursday. Never mind. Well, anyway, I love the Flock Rebellion. It's the fucking greatest thing ever. May
All right, let me show you
the Flock Rebellion win.
Let me share this one with you. Claremont County, Ohio. A man who faced felony vandalism charges for allegedly destroying a flock safety camera in Union Township has had his case dismissed. Here's what happened. Cody Morlock was accused of damaging the camera system in his town. On June 13th, investigators claimed that he removed the bolts holding the equipment in place, causing the camera, solar panel, and support pole to fall before he destroyed them, now that they were on the ground. Okay? That's their allegation. Police said that footage from other nearby cameras, because they got flocks on flocks, helped identify him as the suspect. The flock camera was leased by the Union Township Police Department, so authorities are estimating the damage at more than $1,000 and tried to get him on felony vandalism charges. But they paneled a grand jury, and the grand jury ultimately declined to indict Morlock on the felony charges. They're like, I don't see a crime was done here.
He's like on camera doing it.
He did nothing wrong.
And the grand jury's like, no.
I didn't see anything, sir.
On you go. Off you go.
I think it's really important for people like us to appear for our jury duties, to like try to get onto juries.
Yeah.
So that we can be reasonable.
I think we have one of those fuzzy aphids flying around here, and honestly, like it just went by my eyes, like and then up over my hat, and as it was doing that, I immediately imagined that it was like a sentient, like being, like a, that it could talk to me. I do. I guess that's how like when people are, where they're suffering from a disorder or something like.
Is that what you're saying?
That kind of an imagination could just trigger an.
Is that what you're saying? You're doing suffering from
a
disorder?
I'm not having an episode. No, I'm not. I'm not.
Wait. Listen. Oh, man.
So Shirley MacLaine.
Yes.
She came... whenever we speak about spirituality, I often think about her because she was kind of my introduction into the metaphysical universe.
Yeah, I only knew her as an actor, but then she had this whole second career as like a metaphysical guru, and I had no idea until I met you.
Yeah, she authored several
And you
books.
had like all of these books, and you read them all?
I read them all. Well, I read whatever.
She's like your...
ones I read.
She's like your spiritual guru.
She was the start of my journey. She really was. I was dating this girl. I was 18 years old. We're talking 1988 here.
Don't say it like that. That's fucked up.
I was dating this girl, and she read this book, and she was like, it was called Dancing in the Light. And she was like, oh, this book is so fucking amazing. And I was like, really? What is it? Oh. I don't even think I was really reading any books at the time at all, like fiction or otherwise. Anyway, so I just think, oh, I'll read it if you liked it so much. And that was it. I kind of read like 5 or 6 of her books or whatever it was.
It's kind of a shame that Shirley MacLaine's book titled Dancing in the Light doesn't have anything to do with like her learning Bob Fosse routines for Sweet Charity.
No.
Because it should have been. I would read that book.
So I guess Sweet Charity is getting a reboot on Broadway or something. And
It should. It's really, really great.
and
It's
so
so bonkers. I love that movie.
92-year-old Shirley MacLaine sent a message. And 4 years ago, it was 2022, that she did a guest appearance on that Steve Martin show with Martin Short, the Martin Show.
Only Murders in the Building.
I think that's the one.
I
So she
haven't
does this
seen
this cameo, and she looks quite fabulous actually. She comes in, she's kind of sweeping, and she has that majesty about her, you know, that sort of queen, but like that, like almost Cleopatra power, you know, that you imagine Cleopatra might have.
Really?
Yeah, like just like goddess.
Shirley MacLaine in her late 80s was like Cleopatra?
Well, not in terms of beauty, in terms of power.
Okay.
Hatshepsut. You want to go with Hatshepsut?
I don't know. I don't
Like an Egyptian like goddess.
I don't know what to picture here.
So she's there, she does her scene or whatever. It's cool. Looks like Shirley MacLaine and everything. Then she does this, she releases this video at 92 years old, unrecognizable human being.
Oh yeah, her age actually caught up with her.
No, like, there was no way that if I ever saw her or if somebody introduced me to her as Shirley MacLaine, or I'd be like, I would be filled with doubt that it was the Shirley MacLaine that people are speaking of. She's a completely different human being.
I used to really fixate on that when I was a kid and like really go into like a crisis about comparing people's photos. Like you often see people's old photos when they were like in the armed forces or something, and they have those portrait photos. And then like later on when they're like very old in their 80s or 90s or something, and how the bone structure stays the same, but their face completely changes.
Yeah.
I used to really fixate on that. I'm like, we're just skeletons walking around in skin suits that sag.
That decay.
Yes.
That rot slowly.
Yeah. It's strange though. I don't have any issue with aging whatsoever. I just think it's fascinating that we do it and that we change so much.
It was wild to see, you know, I was a fan of hers through her whole career. Like I loved those books, but I also just loved Shirley MacLaine. I mean, in terms of endearment, it was like a movie that her performance, the hospital scene, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, then watch the movie and wait for the hospital scene because it's just like life-alteringly brilliant. You know, it's hard to believe that any human being could make believe to that extent. But she did, and she's just one of few people in the world who can. And so I've just always been such a huge, admirer of hers. Her daughter wrote a memoir that was basically about how her mother was never around, that she was raised by others, that she kind of aspired to be her mother, but her mother didn't really give her the time of day. And I'm doing a very horrible summary of it because I'm sure her memoir is much more than just that. But that was part of the publicity that they were using to promote the book. And it changed my opinion. You know, it's amazing how like that immediately, like that one moment, I'm like, wow, I mean, Shirley MacLaine, like the one thing I would want you to have been was a great mother. I mean, you know, when she was writing about all of her spiritual work, you know, I mean, that whole world there's a certain amount of sort of maternal feel to it all, you know, like
It is really strange how often the spiritual guru will disappoint us, like any kind, right? How often they'll disappoint us with like weird sexual perversions or some shit, you know, or like they'll be like a bad parent, abusive or something. And like we're always surprised. For some reason, it seems like it actually goes hand in hand.
I studied Ashtanga yoga for 2 years. And Ashtanga yoga is this really beautiful yoga practice where there's no instruction whatsoever. You can go between certain hours in the morning, usually beginning at between 4 and 5 a.m. and going until no later than 8:30 or 9 a.m. for your final, like, throw your rug down and do your series. And it's a self-practice, and the instructors, who are often trained by gurus, walk around and they make your adjustments. And it's just a sublime practice. And one of the better times of my life, actually, in terms of my own personal centeredness. And while I was going through this and having this incredible period of growth spiritually and physically, because my body was just doing amazing things, I was becoming more and more, you know, in like just I was revering more and more the guru Patabi Joyce, and Patabi Joyce was this old frail yogi who was trained by a man who literally found the Ashtanga yoga series in an Indian library, like dusted off these old like parchments from like hundreds and hundreds of years ago or whatever. Fuck, for all I know, it could have been written on stone. But he pulled this shit out and he started doing these poses that were instructed in the book. And then this guy trained Patabi Joyce. So this guy, like Patabi Joyce, was like one away from, you know, like a Buddha type level yogi. And so I just admired everything about him. And then a little after the internet, like I quit Ashtanga because I couldn't get an instructor in Philadelphia. Oh. And I lacked the self-discipline to continue a self-practice. So I was just like admiring him from afar, and then all of a sudden, like these videos started coming out of Patabi Joyce going around because he was a guru, right? So he went from all around the world to all these shalas who would pay him a ridiculous amount of money, and he'd come in and he would do weekend whatevers with a bunch of students who paid extra to be there and that kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like the jiu-jitsu black belts do, you know?
Yeah.
But this guy's the guy. And there's all these videos coming out about him like doing adjustments on women, reaching under their like between their legs, and I mean just blatant sexual misappropriations, and like just like it's assault, really. It's just assault. You know, like they're in downward dog and he's coming in and snuggling in with his crotch, you know, and then pushing on their lower back as if it's something he needs to do, and then grinding into it. I mean, just I'll stop with the details because it's just it tore everything down for me.
Yeah, of course.
Like instantly, it was like it just burned right down. I was like, man, this guy, I was aspiring to come close to being like you. You know what I mean? Just if I could just get to within, you know, single digits of your greatness,
yeah,
I would feel so accomplished. And now you just burned it all fucking down.
These fucking guys, dude.
You made me into a better person than you.
That's the thing about pedestals, man. They're you fall really hard from them, I guess. Like people are still quoting. I always see people quoting Osho, who's like this guru. And you know that documentary Wild Wild Country is about him and his like he had like a cult compound.
Oh, okay.
He had like this whole career where he was doing these like speaking tours where he's basically like a Dalai Lama type who would like speak to these congregants and, you know, enlighten them and everything anywhere all over the world. And then he decided to create a compound that's like basically a cult. And in the documentary Wild Wild Country, do you remember we saw it?
I have a hard time putting the name to the doc. So
he ends up being this like organized criminal.
Oh,
where
right.
he has all of his fucking minions do crimes and shit. They ended up like building bombs and like trying to poison the locals and like all kinds of fucking weirdo shit. There's always like there's sexual perversion and everything too, and it's so strange because people are I still hear people quoting his wisdom. You know, he like wrote a bunch of books and stuff. People are still using it.
L. Ron Hubbard.
Yeah, right. Well, I think that's a little bit more niche. You know. He's got a much smaller group of people who think L. Ron Hubbard has anything interesting to say. Don't Scientologists still have a desk available for L. Ron Hubbard because they think he's going to be reincarnated?
Maybe. I don't know.
I heard that about that in every one of the Scientology centers around the world, they keep an office like open and available just in case he shows up.
Yeah.
People are fucking weird, man.
Speaking of Scientologists, actually, I caught a headline with Ethan Suplee today. And it was a very interesting one because when I hung out with Ethan Suplee, he was very much against drugs.
Scientologists are against drugs, right?
Yeah, like in fact, I had showed some interest in Juliette Lewis, and there was an opportunity for me to be like, "Hey, what's up? I'm Dale," moment with her. And it was more like it was more than that.
She's a Scientologist too?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes, she is, for sure. I don't know if she still is, but she was. I don't think she is still, actually. I think when she was doing her band or whatever, it doesn't matter. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's her fucking problem. I was thinking about like trying to pursue like, maybe I was going to take a shot at Juliette Lewis. You know what I mean? I'm fucking in Hollywood. She's beyond sexy. I'm like, I'm going to take a shot at this and see what's up. And Ethan Suplee and Danny Masterson, actually, they fucking interfered so fast and so hard, it was alarming.
The fuck, they swooped in?
They swooped
Because
in.
you're such bad news.
Because I did a lot of, I asked him about it. I was like, what the fuck is that about, dude? Like, what the fuck? And who made you her guardian? What is going on, dude?
Yeah,
it's the
weird.
weirdest fucking behavior ever.
Super weird.
And she was like responding, and that's why they slept in, because it was like a dance floor thing, you know? I was like, oh yeah, what's up? I remember you. Like, because we'd met a few times at that point. Oh, fuck, man. So they swoop in and fucking boom, boom,
So
boom.
what'd they say?
And it was all about drugs.
They're like, Dale, you get too high.
So that's the whole like suppressive personality, I guess, whatever. But it was like, I've smoked too. And it was all weed, because that's all I really did. Well, I did a little fucking.
I read your memoir. I know.
I was recreational. Yeah, I did a lot of drugs, but I didn't do but I was never like a drug addict. Like at no point in time would anybody in Hollywood have ever called me that.
What is the name of your memoir again?
Too Real, a Hollywood Memoir, available at all fine bookstores. But anyway.
That's a lot of fun.
So he's in, I don't know, he's doing a fucking podcast or who the hell knows what. But he says that he was, remember the Titan star, Ethan Suplee recalls smoking heroin on the night of the premiere. And there's a quote saying, went to bed believing that I wouldn't wake up. Which that does sound like Ethan. That sounds exactly like something Ethan would have said. And I mean, obviously he did. There's the quote.
Was Ethan hanging out with any of your other friends that did hard drugs like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. His co-star in Boy Meets World is Blake Sennett, or Blake Soper, as we knew him then, and who is the founder of Rilo Kiley with Jenny Lewis, indie rock band. And Blake is the person in my book who, like, where I like sort of went to the crossroads because I was doing heroin, but I was doing it very recreationally. I really was. And it sounds funny, but I did not have any kind of like desire for heroin. It was like, oh yeah, I'll have a drink. Oh yeah, I'll fucking do some H, like that kind of thing. But I was over at Blake's one day and we got so fucking cooked. It was insane, dude. We were fucked up. I must have vomited. Oh, I can't even tell you. It was insanity, but I loved it.
Don't you also have to worry about YouTube?
The next day, we wake up and, we don't wake up. Actually, the next day, we're still up. No,
you never did.
We were still, I mean, there was like,
to this day.
we were nodding out like crazy. So I don't know how much, there were intervals of sleep or astral projection or something.
Yeah.
But we woke up and Blake was like, "Yo, let's go get another balloon." And I mean, it was like 10 o'clock in the morning. So he wanted to take a, 6 Alvarado type thing and go get another balloon. And I was like, dude, this is like the time we say no. Like when you want to do that in the morning, this is the perfect time to go, no. That's what I said to him. I was
You're so mature.
I declined I loved it so much. Like kaleidoscopes like happen in your brain. And I did not know that, but they can happen consciously in your brain. Like I've seen them on heroin. They are the most amazing thing. And one of the coolest moments I ever had on heroin was I was laying on a sofa in Scott Bloom's house and Scott was laying on another one and we were both tripping. And both of our eyes were closed, or I presumed his was closed, because I was like, yo, dude, can you see that? And his response was, yeah.
Oh my God. Fucking junkies.
It was fucking great, man. I loved it. But anyway, to hear him say that is just mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. Because that, again, it couldn't be further from, the rules and doctrine of the
course,
church.
any religion that imposes these fucking weird rules where you can't be a normal 20-year-old is filled with people who are hypocrites about it. So, I'm sure he was like very eager to parrot the rules and not follow them.
Oh, I guess he's writing about Hayden. Panettiere in his memoir because she was in Remember the Titans. Which I didn't remember her in Remember the Titans.
His memoir, is that what you said?
No.
Oh.
Ethan Suplee, let me see. So it says here that Ethan Suplee made the confession during a tribute to his late co-star, Hayden Panettiere. He says a Hayden Panettiere tribute from Remember Titans co-star Ethan Suplee took quite the turn when the actor revealed his heroin use at the film's premiere.
Oh my God, dude, this guy's so weird. So
He's
he
a
was
fucking weirdo.
So he was like, "Oh, she died of an overdose." Well, let me tell you guys the time that I almost died of an overdose.
And there's a picture of her hanging off of his extremely rotund body. Hayden, so he says, Suplee and Panettiere were just two of the many young performers to deliver memorable performances in Denzel Washington-led football drama, Remember the Titans. And after Panettiere's death on Sunday, Suplee opened up about the night of the 2000 premiere at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California. On the red carpet, Hayden Panettiere, the 10-year-old girl from the movie, ran up to me, leapt into my arms, and gave me a big hug. This was Ethan. This was Ethan's existence. Like every time Ethan walked into the room, women, and the smaller, the faster they ran, would just squeal toward him, leap into that big cushion of a human being, and just fucking just get the hugs and squeezes from all of that most comfortable blubber. They loved it. I shit you not, they just loved it. Cuddled into him. It was the wildest thing. It was like he was a big, one of those beanbag chairs. It was. You see this picture of him. This is when it's hard to believe he survived the amount of obesity his body's endured. But anyway, on the red carpet, blah, blah, blah. Holding her, I was lighter, some of her energy, innocence, blah, blah, blah. Then he confessed, I went from the press line to the bathroom and smoked heroin.
That's weird.
Why would he? It's a weird thing to write.
He might also be lying, you know?
I wonder why he would.
I knew a few like straight edge kids, and when they grew up and then decided that they thought that being straight edge was lame for one reason or another.
Yeah.
Not that that was the right choice or anything. They would do this revisionist history of how cool they were, and how they did actually hang out with the people that did drugs. It's like so strange. Maybe that's what he's doing.
So I guess
who knows?
He's confessing in this. This is getting heavy, so stay with me, okay?
Yeah, but why?
Just stay with me.
Okay.
So here's a continued quote. It goes, he says, I saw Hayden one last time as we made our way out of the stadium, Suplee said of the premiere. Once again, she leapt into my arms, and once again, I felt some relief. I didn't die of an accidental overdose that night, but I went to bed believing I wouldn't wake up, and that didn't seem so bad, better than whatever a new day offered. What a weird time to confess.
It is very
depression.
Weird. I have a bad opinion about Ethan Suplee. I've read his deposition transcripts from your lawsuit in Stutman v. DiCaprio about Don's Plum. And I don't think he's a fucking good person. Then he seems really fucking cavalier about betraying his friends. And he's proud to have taken sides and demand other people take sides among friends that have been friends for like fucking decades.
Yeah.
Bunch of child actors. He's like, cool, I'm going to split everybody down the middle and I'm going to demand that they divide. Then he writes the judge who is going to sentence Danny Masterson to prison. And he's like, well, Danny Masterson was kind of like a mentor figure to me. And he, inarticulately.
He's not just a rapist,
Yeah, right. He's like a serial violent criminal. But I think you should reconsider whether he deserves hard time because he was nice to me and gave me some advice or something. Like, what the fuck? He's also really kind of a fucking dummy. I know that sounds extremely judgmental and awful, but in the deposition transcripts, he really struggles to figure out what is being asked of him. He struggles to figure out the timeline of events that he's supposed to testify about, where they were, what was going on in his life at the time, and then he gets argumentative when somebody tries to help him clarify. I just feel like this is another evidence of him not reading the fucking room about the appropriate way to act, because why would you hear about one of your previous coworkers dying of an overdose and then share some dark story about how you were so depressed that you wished you had died of an overdose. It just seems really strange. I don't know who the fuck is managing this guy's career. I mean, he obviously doesn't have like a fucking publicist because the Danny Masterson shit was such a fucking bad idea.
Giovanni Ribisi did it and got away with it.
Maybe they didn't think it was anybody was going to know except for the judge. Maybe they thought it was going to be like a private correspondence that they could just send to the fucking courthouse and nobody would ever know about it.
Ashton Kutcher and...
But this is really fucking dumb. This is like super, super callous and like, I'm sorry that you had a hard time, but why are you saying it in your memorial about this woman that we just lost? It's
such a weird... It's a tremendously weird thing. So the last quote they have from his post says, "I feel a tremendous sense of loss today. I don't know what they were really going through at the end," he said, of Panettiere and Pruitt. Who's Pruitt? Pruitt died?
I don't know.
Who the fuck is Pruitt? "I only know that for them, the battle is over, and I'm sad. The miracle of my life wasn't just asking for help. It was finding the courage to accept it, something that seemed impossible." So he's also being critical of her at that moment? Like,
I got scared. You said Pruitt as if it's a deceased person, and I thought he was talking about Pruitt Taylor Vince. So I looked it up, and he's fine. He's 66 years old.
He's not going to do... What, at this time? Man, those eyes, though, you like... Maybe those eyes were all over the place because of... maybe he was a little...
I was like, not Pruitt.
What's your favorite... Can you think of your favorite, Taylor Pruitt, Vince Pruitt Taylor...
Let me see.
I can tell you, I have my top two.
Right off the top of your head? Because
Yeah.
I have like the search engine to help me.
I mean, I don't think I've never not liked him in anything I've seen him in. And he's that guy who's been in 100 fucking things. But I know the two things that he did that I love him the most in. And I'm going to just tell you.
Okay, tell me.
The first one, it's probably his best performance, but it's very close to what I'll call his second best.
Drum roll, Pruitt Taylor Vince's best performance, according to Dale Wheatley.
Jacob's Ladder.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
He just brings it. He brings a tension. Mm-hmm. He brings this tension that nobody else can bring. And he's just doing it with this. It's so absolutely stunning and jarring and really it's frightening.
He was in Gotti.
Was he?
Yes.
Wow, that's so lucky. Well, we all loved him like back in the day.
Yeah, he's great.
Part of the reason we loved him is for his, what I think is the second best performance of his career that I've ever seen. And I've seen a good deal of his movies. But he's like Stephen King. I've only seen so many.
I actually have a hard time. Heavy?
Heavy. Brilliant. You remember Heavy?
Yes, I do.
Heavy is one of the greatest independent films ever fucking made.
It's a really, really good movie.
It's just so special and so brilliant.
Oh, yeah. He's like, he works in the kitchen.
He's in the kitchen.
Yes.
He is.
You're right. That's probably my favorite of his.
It's just so like he just brings you in, and there's a certain like tenderness to this performance of his, and there's this like sort of Beauty and the Beast thing that's happening between him and Liv Tyler, and I mean it's just absolute fucking perfection. I believe it's 1995 is the release date of Heavy, starring Liv Tyler. The director's huge. What's his name again? I'll get it. I know it. I feel stupid.
It's okay. You can edit it out.
1995 film, yeah. God, I feel so stupid. I know who it is. It's one of my favorites. James Mangold. Do you want to hear some other James Mangold films? Just to show you how fucking good this dude is?
Yeah.
Seriously, he wrote and directed Heavy. And I think that Heavy was the best independent film of 1995. I just think absolutely that was the case. Anyway, he's one of the best directors in the world. It's fucking not even close in some cases. But okay, some of his movies. He did Ford versus Ferrari very recently. Massive movie. It was 2019, but still huge. Let me see here. Oh, did he write that? No, he produced that.
You're not really delivering on this promise.
You better just keep it to yourself.
Why don't you just tell me?
He directed Ford versus Ferrari. He did Logan. Isn't that weird? Mm-hmm. But again, people love it. He did like the Wolverine.
Yeah.
What's the matter? What's going on? Tell me what you're feeling.
Pruitt Taylor Vince. You want to hear my favorites of his? That was like 3 people ago.
Yeah.
I also really like Jacob's Ladder. Jacob's Ladder is one of my top 5 favorite films ever made. It's
so
like
great.
in the top tier category. I also really like Constantine, and he's in that. And then I don't remember him. It's weird because I remember him and his performance being awesome and loving watching him on screen, but I have a hard time remembering the context. He was also in Natural Born Killers. You remember that?
I do. No, he's like one of my favorite guys.
Yeah. And he's fine. So what Pruitt is Ethan Suplee talking about?
I don't know.
Pruitt Taylor Vince is so famous there isn't another Pruitt that shows up.
Maybe that was her friend. I have no idea. I'm sorry that I don't know. I feel bad. All right. So yes, Ethan Suplee. Look, I'm sorry that Ethan Suplee was in such a desperate state of depression. I'm just going to throw this out there. Maybe at a young age, when you deliberately destroy dreams and lives of the people you said you loved,
Yeah.
the people you called your friend, maybe that fucking hurt your soul, man. Maybe you punched a hole in your happiness when you did that shit in the same way that you punched a hole in mine. I'm just saying, like, there's a possibility, dude.
There's a lot of destruction to prevail over.
He was pivotal.
Yeah.
In the absolute destruction of my life, my career, and my work. So I do believe that it's entirely possible that the weight of that.
Weren't you friends with Jay Muse, and then he was like kept you at arm's length because of what Ethan was telling him?
I would use the term friends lightly. I would say we were friendly. I've seen him a bunch of times. I met him through Ethan. We had some great nights together drinking and having a good time. But we weren't like calling each other up on the phone and that shit at that point.
But it's like in the depositions, it's so weird how proud Ethan Suplee and Kevin Connolly are both super proud of telling everybody to stay away from you and Artie Robb after the controversy when they were told absolute lies about you guys and nobody ever fucking asked a question to obtain any more details about the lies. Like they just accepted it. It was like completely absurd. And then they just made everybody pick a side, like threatening them.
I'll tell you though,
It's fucked.
Ethan Suplee was so there's a scene that I cut. I'm not going to go into the details of the scene, but there was a scene that I cut from the book. You had me cut it, actually, I think. The scene on the beach.
Yeah, I know the one. This was, you don't want to go into details, but you want to mention it?
Just let me say what I'm about to say. Okay. So, but you know which scene I'm talking about.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So there's a scene that I cut from the book because Angela, I think appropriately said, like, I'm revealing too much personal information. Even after I kind of try to disguise it a little, it was still too personal. Because he had
not personal to you, personal to
Ethan.
Yeah.
Yeah, to Ethan's past.
Right.
So I cut it from the book, but it was like we were drinking like crazy in San Diego at this guy's beach house. And he just started having a breakdown, like an emotional breakdown.
Ethan was.
Yeah. And so he's having basically a meltdown on the beach. And it's the kind of meltdown that you want no one to see. Right?
Yeah, you said he was shouting like a big confessional.
I'm not going to get into the details.
Yeah.
But it was beyond saying that it was the kind of meltdown that you would never want anyone to even remember. Right? Extremely revealing. Kevin Connolly, the whole time, filming it.
Yeah.
The whole time. And chuckling as he did.
Right. And I remember the reason why you wanted this in the book is because it says so much about Kevin Connolly's character.
Yes.
And what his friends are to him.
Because I barked at Kevin Connolly. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Because you see how big fucking Ethan Suplee is.
Yeah. And in that.
So I have to carry this guy. He's so drunk that I have to drag him. He's leaning on me to get to the house where I have to take all of his clothes off because he's a mess and get him in the shower and shower this man, which is what I did. I literally... and while Kevin Connolly is fucking filming him on a fucking camera and laughing as this guy's having an absolute complete
nervous
meltdown,
breakdown,
nervous breakdown. on the beach of San Diego at like 2 a.m.
The reason why it was a shame to have to remove that scene from the book, because it really does show that of anybody in that fucking crew, you really had, you were really looking out for Ethan. And so when nobody else was, and then in the end, right after, not the end of your book, but the end of the Don's Plum, when they were all, took up arms against you, he just took their side and didn't think for a fucking second that maybe you were an okay guy. He should have maybe defended.
But what he did was so wrong.
Fuck.
What he did was so wrong. But I'm only pointing out that whole thing because, he was exhibiting signs of, trauma back then. And so, that's probably a lot of what he's dealing with. And so it's so weird because as I'm reading this to you, let me put it this way. I loved that guy. Like, I loved him deeply. I believed that we had a lifelong friendship, that it was cemented. I believed that about every single one of those guys. Like, I believed that they were my friends for life. And even though I would never harm anyone, regardless of my friendship status with them, I'm going to be particularly protective of my friends. I think it's a natural kind of occurrence, right?
Yeah.
So I cared for these guys. Like, I would protect them on every level. Do you know what I mean? Like when that gas station scene happened where that chick was trying to get to Leo, like Leo's scared. And the reason Leo was scared and we're surrounding Leo is because these people have been known to do things that could cause people physical harm.
Yeah.
And that means that they could try to get through one of us to do it. I'm not even, allowed to be in America at this point. I've overstayed my welcome, And this fucking, and what am I doing? I'm protecting Leo. Like, that's just, whatever. That's my DNA, whatever it is. I don't know. I actually totally like attribute it to my father and me trying to please my father all the time because my father was very abusive. So I was always like, are you okay? Are you happy, father?
Yeah.
They
call that fawning.
But anyway.
This and more in your memoir, which is titled what?
Yeah, Two Real Hollywood Memoir. Please check it out. Who knows? Maybe that scene makes it back in someday. I don't know. I was very reluctant to take it out because I think it's a very compelling scene. And yeah, it's obviously extremely revealing, but Ethan Suplee has never done anything but cause me harm. And that scene isn't harmful to Ethan Suplee in my mind. It's revealing, but it's not harmful. If anything, it's explanatory.
It's revealing, and that's an issue. It's an issue when you're saying that Kevin Connolly filming was a real betrayal, right? And then if you print what he said, then how are you doing any better? It's real sticky, And everything that you print, absolutely everything you print reflects on you, obviously. That's the way it goes. So you have to be really scrutinous of it.
It's out of the book right now, isn't it? And right now it'll stay out of the book because I am not publishing another version of the book at this moment, although I want to.
Okay. Cosmic Urgency.
Yeah.
Is helping us out.
Thank you.
Harold Pruitt.
Harold Pruitt.
I spelled Pruitt wrong. Harold Pruitt. This person? Who's this person?
Pruitt.
Yeah.
Yeah. He died on...
Oh, okay. Well, this guy passed away a long time ago. So, but he worked on Remember the Titans, I guess, maybe?
I don't know. I never met the guy. Thanks for letting us in on who it is.
It's weird that he didn't use his full name. That's weird. Like he's memorializing his friends in code or something.
Yeah. Actually, why is that name familiar? Whatever. He died in 2002.
Do you have other stories today?
He was in Party of Five. I might have actually met this guy. He looks very familiar. Anyway, whatever. He apparently passed. It's weird how many people from the back in the day have already died. It's such a strange feeling, actually. So many have died. It's very weird. So I'm sure that, for those who came up with Hayden Panetierre, it's probably it's a weird thing to, I think, process. Robin Williams his children they've revived his Instagram account in a fight against AI abuse. Yeah, there are people, abusing AI with their.
They're trying to recreate. AI is trying to make Robin Williams content. What's really strange about that is that Robin Williams, like vocal delivery is so unique and so strange that it would just seem completely weird and contorted if AI tried to imitate it. Like Robin Williams is like, his movements are super strange. He's such a weird looking dude as part of his brilliance. He knew how to use his body and his voice, and it just seems like a strange thing to try to train AI to do, because it's not going to translate.
Well, I'm not getting. It's a San Francisco Chronicle article, and I'm trying to pull it up, and it's not pulling up.
Oh, is it paywalled?
It's not. They're saying it's not, but then they're like, because they know I'm coming from Reddit, and they're like, "Hey, Reddit, it's not a," but it's because my ad blocker is on, and I'm, for some reason, not being able to bring up my ad blocker. Let's see. I can. Okay, here we go.
Do you want me to just share some things with you in the meantime? I have a bunch of stories.
I got it.
You do?
Yep.
Okay, good.
No, they blocked me again. Fuck you, San Francisco Chronicle.
Yep.
Fuck you. Go ahead.
I don't know if you saw this, but there's new censoring in women's sports. There's new guidelines for how to film women's sports out of the EU. Have you seen this?
Tell me more.
Let me see.
Are we talking because men are pervs and they're like doing low angle shots of like women jumping, doing long jump and triple jump and
This
bikinis?
is exactly the problem that they're solving. This is really brilliant. The European Broadcasting Union, which unites 100 members, including France TV, BBC, a bunch of other European channels that
massive.
They're like the conglomerate. I mean, the umbrella organization.
Tens and tens and tens of millions of households.
So they have a woman chairman now, and they have released new rules prohibiting provocative camera angles and slow motion replays that sexualize female athletes. So their rules include things like positive angles. This angle can be used to animate the data graphic for the athlete whilst also providing a close-up of their face, revealing their emotions before a jump. That's okay. Negative angles, zooming in or using slow motion of the athlete going over the bar, like in pole vaulting.
Right.
Diminishes technical insight and increases the risk of compromised images not only as they clear the bar, but also immediately after they land on the mat. If wider replays from this angle are employed, it is advisable to cut off the replay before they touch down. So you can't see their like butts bouncing on the mat.
Yeah. Or any wardrobe malfunction that may occur as a result.
Any handheld cameras that are used, like, I don't know if you've seen like in the track athletes will like finish their run and then they'll go and like hug their coaches and their family and stuff. And you'll see them like lean over the guardrails to hug people that are in the stands. And I don't know if you've seen this a million times, but the camera is usually so wide that you can see from their knees up. So you can see their bare butts and their little Speedos that they run in.
Yeah.
Well, this is going to change now. Handheld cameras effectively capture interactions between coaches and athletes, including technical exchanges and celebrations, but often the roaming cameras provide artistic shots of the athletes. However, there are times when these angles can be compromising and uncomfortable for the athlete, particularly when the camera is positioned low or behind them.
Yeah, this is what you see them doing constantly. They're trying to get like the crotch shot, the cleavage, the whatever.
So now the very first sporting events are being filmed and broadcast with these new rules. And dudes are complaining.
They are?
Yes. They're complaining that they can no longer see these butts. And it's just so evident that this rule was very necessary.
Well, what's crazy about it is that a lot of these
They're just making the
women
point.
are underage.
Oh, this is true, huh?
Like a lot of these women are underage. Like, they on Reddit and other sites, they fucking, like promote this stuff like it's, porn or whatever. And it's, dude, you're watching a 16-year-old high diver.
Yeah.
Like, get a fucking grip.
This guy says the male gaze is more than an aesthetic choice of whether to show butts or not. It mimics how men see the world, their values, and how much respect is afforded to each kind of person. They claim it's not important, but they notice immediately when it's gone, and they begin complaining.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so glad. Obviously, it sucks if, there's like some dramatic fall in viewership as a result, and
Oh my God, can you imagine if they're like, I tune in to ladies' sports for the butts.
Some people do.
It's probably, no, I mean like volleyball probably.
I never would have thought of you, Joe, being somebody who loves figure skating. I would have never thought of that of you. Are you kidding me? The twirling? I love the twirling.
This guy is complaining. There's an athlete. Oh my God. He's complaining because the camera panned up the athlete so that it no longer shows her butt and her butt crack and like her cheeks,
Yeah.
And he makes the point perfectly in his complaint. He said censoring healthy Olympic athletes while porn stays uncensored is peak insanity. And you're like, bro, you just made the whole point. You see them as comparable, and they're not supposed to be.
No, they're not supposed to be. Just ask any of the athletes if they consider themselves to be porn stars.
Yeah.
Or OnlyFans or whatever.
Uh-huh.
People, I'm telling you, the sickness around us is so pervasive.
Yeah, the objectification of women just never fucking ends, no matter what they do.
You know what's interesting about it, though, is as the internet has sort of proven out, is that it's the objectification of everything and everyone. It's whatever they desire. And because it's, it's a patriarchy, we have this, we have women as sort of like one of the prey of it all, But the reality is that, like, luckily they're taking everything that we have given the world and hoarding it for themselves, regurgitating it back to us for a price. That's what they're doing.
Who's they?
AI companies.
Oh yeah, right.
So it's just like they just take everything that they want, whether it's the low angle on a 16-year-old high diver, right? So they can get their fucking jollies, some boomer shit, or it's, stealing your creativity or your music or whatever it might be.
I'm not following how you started talking about AI.
Well, I'm saying it's that the exploitation is not limited to just men trying to get off. That's one thing. Mm-hmm. That's just one thing. It's just like we're talking about the exploitation of others.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, it's not. This is like it's more prevalent in our lives than the obvious, where the obvious is infuriating, right?
It's an exploitation ecosystem, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the whole thing, everything is about an exploitation. It's one after the other, whether it's the worker, the woman, the child, right? The religion, the religious.
No, I know. So this guy that was complaining about how they're censoring this athlete's butt while porn stays uncensored, perfectly making the fucking point of the censorship in the first place. This image of her, and maybe you'll put it up when you edit this, but this image of her is she's lying on the track, face down, crying into her arms. And the camera simply panned up her body so that you can't see her butt in her lying down state. Okay?
In an emotional state.
Yes. She's crying into her arms. Okay, so this is the image that this guy's complaining about. This person provided context. This guy says, you're watching a world-class athlete who was crying on the ground because she clipped the last hurdle and she ended her chances at competing for the European Championship in an instant. And these guys are mad that they can't stare at her ass while she's devastated and crying in her competition.
Which, by the way, is a part of what is so appealing about sports.
Yes.
The loss is as compelling, like that's how Rudies are born out of loss.
This censorship helps sports because when you're not looking at her ass, you're being prompted to ask questions about what's going on with the athlete's mind and emotions and everything, Well, when you're not objectifying the person, you can actually think more about what the athlete is going through. It's just crazy. Before she was just a picture of like a really athletic ass, and now she's a girl who's crying on the ground because she lost her best chance at winning. People will just never stop entertaining me with like how they make the point when they're arguing about the point.
It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing, but I'm glad it's happening. And I'm not necessarily saying that that decision is good for the sport. I think that decision is good for sports, but that decision is good for humanity.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, and it's not like Taliban bullshit. This is like, you know, guys, that person who made the porn comment, go get your porn from porn.
No, for sure.
Go get your sports from fucking sports, you fucking weirdo.
On Twitter.
You're the guy who follows chicks down the aisles at the fucking grocery store.
Oh, God.
You
I know this guy on Twitter, he was like, the fact that people are noticing the change justifies the change.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it really does. It makes it very apparent why you're there.
It's really great, though. It's like, all it took, though, after all these fucking decades, you know, generations of people doing sports that are broadcast on TV, all it took was for one time for a woman to be in charge of the broadcasting organization. You know?
I love it. Larry David doubles down on his feud with former friend Alan Dershowitz.
Oh.
You know who Alan Dershowitz is?
Yeah, I do.
Do you want to tell everyone who Alan Dershowitz is?
Alan Dershowitz is like...
Is it Dershowitz or Dershowitz? Dershowitz.
It might as well be, yeah. Alan Dershowitz, let me tell you a story about Alan Dershowitz recently, and this is a story that I got from Alan Dershowitz. I was meaning to cover it on this program, but we covered other shit.
She said program.
Anyway, so here's a story. So Alan Dershowitz, he went to Martha's Vineyard, which I guess is maybe that's where he lives or something.
Okay.
And he went to a farmer's market, his neighborhood farmer's market, where everybody knows everybody, and it's just like super neighborly.
Al!
Yeah, exactly. Well, one day he decides that he's going to start something. Okay, so he wears a shirt that says, Alan Dershowitz is like a famous lawyer, and he's always been extremely controversial because of the cases that he's like a defense attorney. So he defended Donald Trump when he was getting impeached. He's defended pedo, whatever. It's horrible. He was really, really close with Epstein. This is Alan Dershowitz, the character that he is. Anyway,
a good person, one of the good ones.
One day he goes to his farmer's market, and he wears a shirt that has big letters on it. And it says, "Proud American Zionist." And he goes to one of the vendors, and he specifically goes to that vendor, and he's like, "Hey, I would like some of your falafel, please," or whatever. I don't know what the guy was selling, but he was like I guess falafel is also served in Israel, so maybe whatever. He's a guy he had some Arabic country food vendor. And the guy was like, "Bro, I'm not going to serve you. Like, I'm sorry, but I get to choose who I provide service to, and I'm not going to serve you because you're being like aggressive right now with your shirt."
I just want to say that the best falafel I ever had in my life, Fairfax, Los Angeles, which is where all the like Israeli, like Middle Eastern restaurants are.
Yeah.
And it was at this Israeli joint, and I walked in, and I smelled it. I was like, "Give me that falafel." I couldn't believe that it was falafel. It had a crunchy outside, like trying to think of like those, you know, those cheese things where there's like a potato outside or whatever. You bite it, it's crunchy, and then there's cheese in the middle, like kind of thing. It had this like that kind of texture, but it had that like beautiful falafel depth. And so yeah, man, the Israelis, they know how to fucking fry up a falafel.
I am probably wrong because he wouldn't have beef with an Israeli wearing a shirt that says "Proud American Zionist." Okay, so what I'm saying is that I have this part of the story wrong. Whatever. He went to his farmer's market. He wore this shirt. He pissed off one of the vendors. The vendors decided to not serve him. And of course, he starts filming. He starts filming this, and Alan Dershowitz has a fucking podcast or something, so he's complaining about this as if he's all in the right. Like, he didn't just fucking start shit and then not take the fucking natural consequences of starting shit. So he starts filming, and because he's a lawyer, he decided that he's actually going to sue this guy because he feels like he was being discriminated against for his religion. He says that his beliefs are religious beliefs, not political beliefs, but that they're religious beliefs, and that he got discriminated against, and the guy's failure to serve him was religious discrimination. So he's going to sue this small vendor at a fucking stand in his neighborhood farmer's market that he goes every week, like started shit out of nowhere, made himself the victim, of like very, very obvious, predictable consequences of starting shit, and then decided to like fling lawsuits all over the place. So what they did was that they decided at the fucking farmer's market that they're going to ban Alan Dershowitz.
Really?
Yeah, they're like, he's starting shit and fucking threatening to sue our vendors for like, like you should have just like bought something else and gone home like a normal person. So now it's like a bigger deal. Now he's going to sue everybody. This is what Alan Dershowitz, he's constantly causing problems, complaining about them, and then trying to exploit them and make a legal fee out of it. And he's always defending the worst people. Alan Dershowitz is a fucking scourge.
Well, Larry David, he doubled down on his rift with his former pal. I guess it took him a while to figure it out, but
yeah.
Apparently he said that of Alan Dershowitz that he only has himself to blame for their feud. He said that Dershowitz made a deal with the devil, literally. And of course he's talking about his relationship with Donald Trump.
Yeah, and probably Epstein and the whole other fucking...
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know when they fell out.
Whatever.
But anyway, Larry David getting on my good side. It's not that I don't like Larry David, though. Let me clarify. I mean, I think he's fine, but there's something about Larry David that I just like, I don't care about. Do you know what I mean? It's like I hear him, I'm like, okay, whatever.
He's from a very specific region of the United States that I just have never known anybody from.
Where's that?
He's just like very New Yorker.
Oh.
Like he's very like New York brand New Yorker.
Yeah.
Like New York hat, New York shirt, New York pants, New York shoes type, like New Yorker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I liked Curb for a little while, and then it was like kind of the same thing every episode where he was like yelling about something outrageous.
Yeah, always yelling at him.
And sometimes it was funny still, but it was just so predictable.
Uh-huh.
Like there was no, you know how like you get these little storylines in Schitt's Creek where you're like, you feel, you know, where you feel, I don't know, like emotion. Like with Larry David, anytime I ever watched Curb Your Enthusiasm, all I ever had was eye roll or laughter.
Oh,
that was
yeah.
like the two
I know.
things that, and sometimes the laughter was so hearty that it kept me coming back for more. Mm-hmm. But there's never like any like actual like human like connection. But with Schitt's Creek, sometimes I get that. Sometimes I'm like, I see what you're doing there. Yeah, you got a hold of my little.
It's a different kind of comedy.
Strings.
Yeah, but that's how Seinfeld was too, you know. When he wrote all those, it's a specific brand of comedy. It's not supposed to make you feel. It's just supposed to make you chuckle.
Aladdin Falafel in Seattle, says the Junkyard Farm. I mean, the Junk Farm. I don't know why I always say Junkyard. The Junk Farm says Aladdin Falafel. You know, if I ever make it to Seattle, God, I'd love to go.
Let's just pack up
And
Let's
just go. That's what rich people do. They spend the money in the carbon. They're like,
I heard this was the best place, so we got on the plane and came right over.
I was in Athens, Georgia last
night. I was
night.
hungry, so I just took a private jet for, 30-minute flight across the country to grab one of these.
Happiness in your life is with us.
I used to, it's nice to see everybody. It's good that we've got a big crew today. I used to recruit one of my friends every year for my birthday.
Yeah.
And we would drive up the coast to Santa Barbara from Los Angeles.
It's a great drive.
It's a really great drive. It was pretty easy to recruit these people, but I was acting like that kind of rich person. I was never rich, but when I was acting like it for my birthday, I would go to, there's a bakery in Santa Barbara called Anderson's Bakery, and they would make these princess cakes. Do you know what a princess cake is?
No.
It's got like fruit and cream layers, and it's like the cake is like soaked in Grand Marnier or something like that, and then it's got a shell that's marzipan. So sweet, but incredible.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's like a whole deal.
It's like a big candy cake.
It looks like a big candy cake, but I'm like a junkie for marzipan. It's like my favorite shit. So I would go all the way up there, and we would have lunch at the place around the corner. I forget what it was called, but it was a Reuben sandwich place that was so good. And then we would have dessert at Anderson's Bakery, and then I would buy a cake and I would bring it back and drive it back home. And it'd be like sweating in the car because I didn't have a cooler. So we'd have to like book it back home. And every year I would, for like 3 years straight, I managed to like find a friend that was willing to do this bullshit with me. But it was like that thing, like where you're saying like rich people get to do that. Where they're like, oh, I live super far away from this place that's really great, but let's just go anyway.
That's why they die in helicopters, because they just do it too much.
Yeah, that's right.
I actually remember marzipan. You made a cake once that I only had one piece of because I knew that if I had a second piece, I was going to get like diabetes or
Oh
something.
no, I know. I fucked up that cake. I tried to recreate it. I made it way too sweet. It was
I had like
horrible.
an event, like
No.
I had a biological event.
I got the flavors right and like the cook went perfect, but I just like way overdid
It
it.
was delicious, and then after I finished it, something
You
happened
like
to me
started
biologically
sweating.
that I still have not
I know,
recovered.
I know. I
Or
remember the one. I had to throw it all out. It was heartbreaking.
it was my hero's moment. I'm a changed person.
It's like good if you're a hummingbird.
Cosmic Urgency likes Larry David. Seinfeld is the best. I'm not surprised that you like Larry David. And I think he's a likable guy, and I think he's a very funny guy. I think he's a obviously extremely talented guy. Very his observational humor, I guess you could say, is great at times. Mm-hmm. Fantastic comedy mind. Seinfeld was one of the greatest shows ever created. I didn't like it.
You didn't like Seinfeld?
Not really. I mean, I could like it when I watch it. Like I'd be like, oh yeah, I can see why everyone loves this, but I just couldn't care about it. Like I just couldn't find any reason. The last comedy show that I got into, where I was like, oh, I got to keep watching this comedy show, and I'm not including things like Schitt's Creek and stuff because this is like I'm talking around like I don't know. It was Cheers. Like, I think from Cheers to Schitt's Creek and Rescue 911. Like, actually, it's been hanging out with you. A couple of comedy shows made it back into my life. Before you, I hadn't watched comedy since like the early 90s.
I like comedy shows.
I just stopped caring about them. I just stopped caring about TV comedy altogether. Mm-hmm. And then, and everyone was obsessed, like Simpsons and Seinfeld, and I just couldn't be bothered. Although I remember watching the first season of Seinfeld. I actually watched the first season, and I really liked, because in the first season, what I really liked about it was that they did a lot more of him doing stand up in between, as liaisons or whatever.
That's crazy. You like that part? That's the part that.
Well, I was a stand up guy.
Well,
so
they
yeah.
stopped doing that because it was so boring.
Well, that's the part I liked. So when they stopped doing it, and it just became like this Michael Richards thing, But I liked it. I mean, it's good. I just didn't catch me like other shows have.
When I was a small child, my parents had a VHS tape of Transylvania 65000. Did you ever see that movie?
No.
It's a 1985 like Halloween comedy. It's so great. It's so bonkers. Transylvania 65000. They had a theme song and everything. It's Ed Begley Jr., Gina Davis, and Jeff Goldblum. But it also has Michael Richards, and he's doing the exact same Michael Richards thing that he does in Seinfeld.
Right, because that was like his whatever Citizens Brigade thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's like his comedic gimmick where he's just like flopping around and like doing all of this like pratfall comedy shit. It's so great. So I was already so like I was kind of like born in the sauce, like I was raised on Michael Richards screwball comedy that I really liked Seinfeld. I just watched it for him.
So I did not know this about you, that you were a Seinfeld fan. Why did you never bring this up? Because it would have made a difference, and I'm a little shocked that you wouldn't share something that was obviously the kind of thing that would make a difference in deciding whether you even want to be with somebody.
Well, it's a good thing that I don't really identify with TV shows. Like I knew people who watched Friends and liked Friends, and they were like their whole personality was about like liking Friends. There's people who do that with The Office, where it's like their comfort show, and they're like completely embody like they're like, if you want to know anything about them, the first thing you should know is that they like The Office. This was never the way with me. I don't give a shit about TV that much,
that it's like something
that I'm going to even mention to you that I used to watch a show, and that it's not like I would tune in every week religiously. It's like when it was on, I would catch it and I'd enjoy it.
like whether you're like calling up the astrologer and you're like, I thought you said we were compatible. He likes Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Yeah. I can't stand Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
It's a good show.
I love that show. Gillian Anderson wants you to have good sex, and her horny new slasher film could help. This is the headline on Metro. Caught my attention. I was like, thank you, Gillian.
I love that Gillian Anderson has heard the news that she is a lesbian icon, even though she's not a lesbian. That lesbians absolutely love her. Like that that watching her on the X-Files was like their awakening moment. As a lot of people have confessed this to her, and that she's decided to just completely lean into it. She's like, "Oh, I am a sex symbol, so why don't I just
Let's just go for it."
So now she's doing it. It's really great.
Jillian said she's stepping into brand new territory with her latest film, Teenage Sex and Death, at Camp Miasma, marking her first foray into horror. And it's far from your bog standard fright flick, as a tongue-in-cheek homage to slashers combined with a bracingly bold take on feminine sexuality.
It's a horny horror.
It's a horny horror. There's the still they have. Let me show it to our friends. I don't know if you guys can see that, but the still they have is like these two. I guess they're probably hot chicks. You can't tell because they're covered in blood.
That makes them hotter.
But they're in the shop. They're in the like the Circle K or something, the racetrack, the QT, the 7-Eleven, and they look like they want to have sex with each other. That's what they do. That's what they look like.
Hot.
Extremely hot, So anyway, her film won the Queer Palm, and is steadily building word of mouth buzz before reaching British shores this week. But it looks like it could be a really fun movie that we should probably track down. I'm having a hard time believing that the name is actually, it's called Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma. That's the name of it. I wish they'd have thought that through.
Teenage sex?
Teenage sex. Yeah.
We want to watch teenage sex?
Well, it's not teenage sex, is it?
If they're trying to say that it's
like they're teenagers.
If they're saying that
Pee-wee
it's
Herman
teenage
was
sex,
an adult.
Guys, I thought that we didn't want to see teenagers.
The very next picture is
Sex.
some chick in a very obviously braless shirt. Well, anyway.
Cool.
She wants us to, well, I'm just reading the headlines. Okay, it's what they pay me for. And that's what I'm doing.
Cosmic Urgency has a question for us.
Yeah, okay.
Did we decide if the Zodiac exists? We did see the documentary.
We did.
Cosmic Urgency. The documentary, which was titled what? Does the Zodiac exist?
Is that what it is?
No, I can't remember.
The documentary that you recommended, which you can put into chat, and then I will repeat for those who are catching the show on Apple or
we did
Spotify.
see it, and there's this. So the theory is that the Zodiac Killer's murders were not connected whatsoever, but they were only connected by the police that got letters from some sicko who was impersonating, who had connected and claimed responsibility for all these various murders that were done by different people.
Yeah.
And the theory is that each one of the people who were killed had somebody in their life that was trying to kill them, and then the cops completely biffed the investigation, didn't follow any of those trails, and only focused on the Zodiac Killer because they were receiving these letters from somebody who was taking credit for it.
How do you feel? What's your...
I fully embrace the idea that cops fucking suck sometimes and that they don't do their job very well. We've seen a bunch of evidence of that. So It's definitely within the possibility. I don't know. There are a lot more people who are way into this world of trying to figure out who the Zodiac Killer was, what the whole situation was. And a lot of those people that know more about it than I do seem to think that this theory is bullshit. There's anytime that you see a documentary, you know that you're only getting the documentarian's point of view. So it could be that a bunch of stuff is missing, and I don't really know. I think that the Zodiac Killer, I think that everybody who thinks that it's a legit case where all of those murders are connected probably makes more sense because the people who have been following it and trying to solve it think so. But it's really interesting to see these different perspectives. I thought that I didn't like the documentary production at all. I thought that it was really bad.
To answer Cosmic Urgency's question, I'm leaning toward does not exist. Zodiac.
You think he doesn't exist?
Yes.
You think that there are different killers that are not connected?
I think that some dude who wanted to play games and have fun and see if it worked, and it did, and it got him in the newspapers, and all of a sudden now he's this thing And
It is a really interesting theory. You could see that happening for sure. Somebody who's
an
like,
imposter who's like, getting high off the fame and the being the enigma behind it all, and a cipher and all this shit. I mean, come on, man. I mean, it's perfect territory for a prank, because the only thing that can get you caught is if somebody catches you mailing these letters, because you didn't commit any of the crime. There's no DNA. There's no evidence of you that exists whatsoever. So saying you did this and getting into these details, and I mean, obviously you're impeding an investigation on all these potential murders, and it's a terrible thing to do, because justice isn't prevailing in this situation if in fact this is a person pranking and trying to take credit for something they didn't do. But I think it's definitely prime for it, and I think it's even probable, because the case that the murders themselves are so wildly off the charts different.
what's the name of this fucking documentary? One of the cases, I felt like this documentary that was claiming that the Zodiac killer doesn't exist made a lot of really easily false conclusions.
Yes,
Like, for instance,
that's very true.
There's two victims that were killed in the same car. They were like parked on a lover's lane or something, and then they were fired upon by what the police think is the Zodiac killer. Okay?
Zodiac Killer Project, is that it?
No. But listen.
I am listening.
So the filmmaker says that one of the reasons why they think that it wasn't the Zodiac killer that killed those two people.
This is the Zodiac speaking.
No. That's a different one.
Okay.
That's not the one we watched.
Fine.
Okay, listen. The people who made the documentary, okay? They said that the reason why it couldn't have been the Zodiac killer was because the Zodiac killer operated alone. But they said that the people whoever fired on the two people who were shot in a car at the Lover's Lane, parked at night, pulled up the car alongside them, and then there's forensic evidence at the scene where there's a shell casing on the opposite side of the car that pulled up, the killer's car. So they say there must have been two, but that's a completely false conclusion. Because every one of those old cars, this was like in the fucking 70s or something, every one of these old sedans has bucket seats. I mean, not bucket seats, bench seats in the front. So it's very, very possible that the Zodiac killer, or whoever killed, pulled up alongside these two people in a car, scooted over to the passenger side very easily, got out on that side, and started shooting on that side.
It was like a 70s favorite thing, not the shooting part, but like a lot of filmmakers in the 70s or in the 80s shooting the 70s or whatever. There's a lot of that leaning across the bench seat, throwing open the door.
Yes.
Scooting out that side or going through the, it's a very, I found that very.
So that they didn't question at all. They were like, well, this obviously concludes that there's the fact that there's a second shooter who got out of the passenger seat. Well, these guys are driving up to the scene in modern cars that have two seats in the front. Instead of like a one long bench seat that's super easy to scoot.
Well, what did he do then? He got out of the car and had to go around the car? No, he didn't.
No, he just got out on that side and started shooting on that side.
Simple, easy, sliding with two guns, one in each hand.
But they know that is the shot over the top of his car that went into the hood, through the hood of the victim's car. So that's really interesting forensic evidence. And if, it's like if somebody was shooting over the hood of their car, they're not going to shoot their partner in crime who allegedly got out. Like if there's two of them and one person gets out, the driver's side, and the other person gets out of the passenger side, the guy on the passenger side is not going to shoot over past the driver's side, right? He might hit his friend. I don't know. It just seems like they didn't think about it.
It's one
shooter.
It's got it. I mean, come on. The John Farm says,
oh, here it is. Cosmic Urgency. Thank you, dude. I'm sorry. Myth of the Zodiac. Where is it? Can you type it in and see where it's streaming? Because I forget where we watched that.
John Farm says that he says that he feels like, based on what you said, he probably thinks it's a cop.
Ooh.
I think that's a really funny idea, because like a cop would be perfect, because those guys could see. Imagine being a cop working on a case. Like you're working on the Manson case or whatever, and the person who's famous is the scumbag in your mind as a cop, right? like not the guy who busted him, not the cop who like did the work and made it all come, like back when Elliot Ness was, the hero, Remember Elliot Ness?
No.
You don't know who
Myth of the Zodiac Killer.
We can't let our history disappear. Elliot Ness.
Myth of the Zodiac Killer is on Peacock, by the way. That's where we saw it.
You get that, folks?
That's what we're talking about. What about Charles Manson?
What I'm saying is the idea that it was a cop, because cops, there might be like the kind of narcissistic cop who's like, why the fuck why aren't we the famous ones? You want to be a killer?
See, I saw it differently. Junk Farm said that he thought it was a cop, and I immediately thought that these guys are like, dude, we are absolutely failing at solving these high profile murders. You know what we got to do is we got to write a letter and make it seem like there's some like lunatic mastermind out there that we can't catch, and then just try to solve that problem. Try to solve that case. Like a cop wrote the letter and
to get the heat off of them?
To get the heat off of them and make it like a different investigation because they were failing so badly at following up on their current investigation.
Like a captain at a precinct or whatever. And some higher up was like, you're going to lose your job over this one,
Yeah,
Billy.
right. Well, also, the Lover's Lane killings, those two people, apparently these documentary, the Myth of the Zodiac documentary filmmakers, they think that it was a drug problem. Like they like owed some sort of like drug dealer or something, and it was like tied to this motorcycle gang or something.
Yeah.
And we know that since the beginning of time, cops have been doing dirty deals with local drug gangs. So it's possible that the cops are like, well, listen, we can't solve this crime, so why don't we create a new suspect?
It makes a lot of sense when you build a case around corruption, because when you build a hypothesis around corruption, because it's a very plausible thing. I mean, we all saw Traffic. Brilliant movie. If you haven't, see it. So great. Lisa Kudrow. Can I talk about Lisa Kudrow?
Sure, babe.
She said that she was told that she wasn't pretty enough to be cast as a series regular before Friends. And then she got cast as the quirky friend.
That's lame.
It is a brutal, brutal world in Hollywood. Edie Robb would say the most, like, phew, man.
To her talent clients?
To their faces.
She was a talent.
You're not good looking enough.
She was a manager,
I'm sorry.
right?
You're not pretty enough. Your tits aren't big enough. And she would say it like that. She'd be like, your tits aren't big enough, honey. You're never going to make it in this town. Like, she would say shit like that. Like, I'm paraphrasing, so that's not an actual quote. But, in sum and substance, this woman would look at you and say, she would, like, get real particular. She'd be like, your nose is too flat. Your nose is too big. Your eyes are too dark. Your hair is too curly. Like, she would just tell you, and then she would like, your voice is too weird. Trust me, honey, you're never going to make it with a voice like that. Not in this business. And, the funny thing about Edie Robb is, as terrible as that was at times, like, there were times when I was like, wow, dude, like,
Yeah.
maybe just go a little softer on it.
Like, don't you want your clients to go into a fucking an audition with confidence?
No, these would be the people she's not taking on as clients.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah. These are the people getting turned down.
That's such a style. That's such just like a specific style of person where they're like, if I'm not representing you, then you're my competition and I want you to do badly type shit.
Check out the people, though, that Edie Robb has had a hand in their careers early. Almost everybody left her before they became something. But
I would leave that person too. She
John
sounds awful.
Travolta,
That's
Callista
crazy.
Flockhart, Seth Green, Zooey Deschanel, Pedro Pascal. I mean, the list goes on and on and on with her. Seth Green, did I say that already?
That's crazy.
She had she and her husband Rodney, who is since passed, they had a great eye for talent. Like, they could spot talent. It was one of the reasons why I included in her email where she is absolutely treating me like trash, where she calls me talented. I left it in there because she's so good at spotting talented people that and I know that most Hollywood knows that. So I put that in my fucking book. Her words, like, I'm not even, like, it's literally like a quote
She
from her
said
email.
it.
Yeah. And I put that in there because I know that everyone knows that woman knows talent. was like, did you hear what she said? I'm talented, goddamn you. It's such a brutal world, and I hate that people like Lisa Kudrow and others have to go through life remembering these harsh words, and also remembering that like she also wasn't playing the Courtney Love or the Jennifer Aniston role in Friends.
It's not Courtney Love.
Sorry, what's her goddamn name?
Well, she was Courtney Arquette for a while, right?
Yeah.
What was her name?
Courtney Love?
No, Courtney Love is a different.
Courtney Arquette? The one from the Bruce Springsteen video.
Oh my God.
I'm dancing with myself. If I had the chance, I'd ask the world to dance. No, that's not. Was that it?
Courtney Cox.
Courtney Cox. That's right. Courtney Cox from Scream.
Half of our lives are this, where we're like, what the fuck is that name? We spent a minute looking it up.
I have another bizarre story. Bizarre Hollywood story. You want to hear it?
Sure.
Yeah, because if you said no, I was going to
I brought some stories,
This one's coming from...
I'll just save them for next time, I guess.
Why are you talking over me?
Because I was wondering when I get to tell you something.
Right after this story, okay?
Okay.
Will you not talk over me now? Can I have the stage?
Yes.
Dane Cook's brother stole $12 million from comedian, hid bricks of cash in pasta sauce. And you know what the funny thing is? I don't like Dane Cook. And I didn't like him with a certain kind of, how would I put this? Like it was almost personal how much I didn't like him. I never met the guy. But he was just one of those comedians where, like, I'm seeing his face right now. I'm like,
Yeah, he has an effect on people.
Cook. Yeah, the guy just, whatever, rubs me the wrong way in the worst possible way. And then I read this. Dane Cook's brother stole $12 million from comedian, hid bricks of cash in pasta sauce.
You know what that immediately made me think?
What?
That he has like a phobia of pasta sauce. And his brother is the only person in the world that knows this. And so if he had to stash some money,
Put it in the tomato sauce, Ruben.
if he had to stash money from Dane Cook, he's like, oh, I have the perfect hiding spot. He's never going to look in there. Because in my house,
Yeah.
if you hid anything in the pasta sauce, I'm going to find it.
You're gonna find it, yeah. No, you got to put it in like in the dried mango jar.
That's an inside joke. I'm allergic to mango. So I would never go looking in the dried mango jar.
SpaghettiOs is how the Variety article starts. Dane Cook's brother stole $12 million from the comedian and hid bricks of cash inside pasta sauce, a new documentary reveals.
Fuck.
Premiering on September 29th, Funny Money, The Dane Cook Story, delves into the financial drama that absorbed the blockbuster comedian in 2008 when his half-brother and business manager, Daryl McCauley, was charged with embezzling at least $12 million from Cook.
This is absolutely fucking brilliant PR work on their part, because the thing that everybody knows about Dane Cook is that he likes to date teenagers. So here they're putting out some other story so that where you're
So
like,
we're not
no,
actually
actually he got a lot of money embezzled from him. It's a family
it's not pedophilia.
problem.
What is it when you're a teenage person? Not pedophilia, it's another philia. Isn't
Yes, I know. It's not the same.
it? McCauley pleaded guilty to larceny, embezzlement, and other charges along with his wife, Erica, and was ordered to pay back the $12 million. He served a 6-year prison sentence and then disappeared entirely. Where is he?
In the pasta sauce.
Yeah.
He's hiding in the pasta jar.
He's hiding in the pasta jar. No, Dane's like, I know where he is. Take me to the Cento plant.
What a fucking... I can't get over that part of the story. It's so weird.
What has he done?
Of all the hiding places in the world, why would you find... Like, you're going to ruin your cash, bro. Like, what do you... There
Are
wasn't
you
another
gonna eat
place.
it accidentally? You're gonna be like,
Very
well, this tastes
fucking-
like money. It is money. Oh no! We just ate $12 million.
My sauce is ruined.
Where is he?
I
What is-
shaved the garlic so thin for that.
It's a fallacy. That whole
Shaving the garlic
I've
thin.
done it. It's a fallacy. I did the whole thing. Like I'm just like right in the movie. Like I'm down. I'm
Like, fuck you, Scorsese.
fallacy. Macaulay pleaded guilty. Okay, so where is he? What has he done? How does this end? Cook narrates in the documentary trailer. In Funny Money, Cook says growing up, he and Macaulay both wanted to be stand-up comedians. Macaulay ultimately became a corrections officer, while Cook went on to become one of the most commercially successful comics of the 2000s. It just shows you that the 2000s were void of something. Like there was just, like, so, I don't know, like the greatness of humanity kind of just like, like, I don't know, died or was, I don't know what happened, like in 9/11 or something, like it all just burned down to the ground with all of our hopes and dreams. Like it was because that's when it was like right after George Bush stole the election with the Supreme Court. Then, the America's first attack on its soil since Pearl Harbor. And I think like everyone was just sitting around going, oh, fuck, it was all a fucking lie. And then Dane Cook came along and was like, and I'm a good comedian.
He was huge.
Huge. I couldn't believe it. I tried watching that guy's stand up and there's just like
I'm
bad at it.
I don't believe you because you grew up when fucking Andrew Dice Clay was a fucking massive superstar. So you know that bad comedians make huge careers. Like,
yeah,
you
but
know this.
He was a shtick comedian.
Yeah.
Who
was Dane Cook.
He wasn't though. He was a shtick. What was the shtick?
He would like do jump squats like all over the stage.
Jump squats. That's a.
No, he was just like a ridiculous trying to do physical comedy, but whatever. I don't know.
Working as the handler of his finances, Macaulay began withdrawing sums of $20,000, $50,000, and even $100,000 from Cook's accounts without him noticing. I was starting to feel something that I couldn't really identify, Cook admits in the trailer. Was he hiding it in different places, stockpiling this money? Finally, it was revealed that Macaulay had stolen massive amounts of money from his famous brother, hiding piles of cash in a safe and even wrapping it in plastic before stashing it inside pasta sauce containers. A storyline straight out of The Bear.
I need more of the story. Why was that choice made?
It's coming out on September. Well, we'll get back to that again. When an investigation determined that Macaulay had embezzled at least $12 million, Cook believes the amount could have even been higher. I do believe that there's money out there, he says in the trailer. I believe there's people that know more. Funny Money, the Dane Cook story.
I believe there's people that know more, and he goes to the local pizza place where they have pasta sauce jars.
Do you mind if I take a look in this jar? Give me some gloves.
I believe that you know more.
Really, that's what we should do. We should just start a vigilante group that's going out to various restaurants looking for Dane Cook's money. Funny Money, the Dane Cook story will be available to stream on demand beginning September 29th. So it's a, month or so away, but I can't wait.
Yeah, I mean, it's just weird because that's not the scandal of his life. I'm sure that's the story he wants to tell.
It's his documentary. It's the one he made.
Yeah, that's the story he wants
to tell. It's a good story. I mean, it's
a
good story. That's a crazy story. I mean,
weird.
If I found out that first of all, if I find out somebody's been embezzling money from me, I'd be like, so. It's kind of like when, Pete, writers, when I hear writers oh, why don't they steal my idea? I'm not going to tell anyone my idea. I'm going to keep it to myself. I'd be like, dude, if somebody steals your idea, consider it nothing but flattery. If you actually had an idea stolen from you, and I have, by the way, if you've had that happen and it got produced, think of it as flattery. Ultimately,
no, you would certainly not. You'd be
I did get
a
money
little bit of you would think of it as flattery, and then the rest of you would be like, "Fucking pay me."
Yeah, I did. I went and got paid. I did. I ended up getting my money, but it was for I told you guys a Children of the Corn thing. But in any case,
the Junk Farm says Dennis Miller was actually funny in the '80s. Can't blame us for all of them.
Oh well, you just went right to the guy that I didn't think was funny.
You didn't think it was funny,
Dennis Miller? I thought he was a poor man's George Carlin.
Oh.
I thought he thought more of himself. The thing I loved about George Carlin is George Carlin wasn't at all preoccupied with himself. He had no, there was never a moment where I felt like George Carlin was trying to prove to me anything or that he was trying to be something that was beyond his self. Everything was absolutely genuine and sort of unclipped in that way, as opposed to guys like, Miller and Dennis Miller and others, where I just felt I don't know, I felt like I get this certainly from Jimmy Fallon, and Jimmy Fallon's way worse at it, but where they put this persona out that is separated or feels separated from their genuine self, the genuine self, and therefore I feel like it sort of whatever, maybe half bakes the humor or even maybe fabricates it in a way that it loses some of its authenticity. Compared to a Carlin, where Carlin was like everything was so well thought out and meant something to him. He was there was something important for him to say to us, through these jokes, and he did so in a way that was not only entertaining but also, transformative in its own way, I suppose. But no offense to you if you like Dennis Miller. He was funny, obviously. I mean, but like, he was like another guy who's like, who got the desk on Saturday Night Live that I just felt.
Oh yeah, right.
It's like the dry years.
Who are your favorite comedians from that time?
From the 80s? Mm-hmm. I loved, well, Eddie Murphy was probably tops for me. Just the guy made me bleed
he's really
from laughing.
funny. My favorite was Bill Hicks.
I like Bill Hicks. I like some guys that you probably never heard of. Guys like Rick Overton. I loved him. I loved like a lot of like Emo Phillips. I don't know if you knew who that is.
Oh yeah, I know.
Emo was just like, he was like one of those prop guys that like, there's like a couple prop guys that come along that like nail it. Howie Mandel did it with his handbag, and
I think he's still like that on social media. He just like he'll tweet. Like,
Emo Phillips?
Yeah, he'll tweet, but it'll be like exactly like you could see and hear the delivery.
And his bangs and like, he just had such a great. I like the unknown comic, and I was really big into comedy in the '80s. I did a lot of watching. I mean, Carol Leifer, who was like, she had the show, and but if you actually go back into her old comedy, her comedy was super great. There was a lot of like great women comics back then.
Yeah, it was an amazing time for stand-up. I feel like we were exposed to so many more stand-up comedians. Now, obviously, everybody is on social media, but we got so many more comedians with like hour-long specials that they would just play. I don't know how I got exposed to all of it.
Like I loved what's his name? Red Fox. I loved like like the old guys too.
Yeah, like the veterans.
Yeah,
fucking George Burns and shit.
Well, not so much George Burns. Was he stand-up? Is that true? Probably. I'm talking more like Red Fox and who's the guy that never swore but he was just amazing. Oh, see if I can remember him. But anyway, I mean, there's so many comics back then that
Stephen Wright.
Oh yeah, I mean he was one of my favorite. He was one of my favorite of all. I mean he's like I think he's like what gave Max what's his name? That's Max Head, what's his name?
I don't know. Stephen Wright is still with us. He's 70 years old.
He was a great comedian. I can't do him. He can't even
great.
You can't. How can you do Stephen Wright? But his kind of jokes would be like, last night I walked into a bar and I got scared because only blind people walk into bars.
So good, dude. So stupid.
He would just do these kinds of jokes and just leave you like, first of all, like half the time that Stephen Wright would drop a joke, I would be like, and then like a minute later, I'd be like, ah, like I would just be howling at it. Cause it's
that's like, what's his name that died?
Max Hedberg.
Mitch Hedberg.
Mitch Hedberg.
Yeah, Mitch Hedberg is like that.
Yeah, I think Mitch Hedberg got his.
He's the best to ever do it.
I think he's like he's Stephen Wright influenced, Mm-hmm. In the same way that I feel like Howie Mandel really got his from emo.
Howie Mandel's a weirdo. He doesn't act like he ever had a funny bone in his body anymore. Now he's like all uptight and he's like selling fucking supplements and shit. It's really weird.
I mean, the truth about like Dane Cook's era was like there were a lot better comics going around then. I mean, he was doing well because he hit the MTV generation. Like he had this like young audience that was like really pumping money into his world. But like this was like Lewis Black was killing it back then. And
I think the appeal of Dane Cook was that he moved around a ton, and there wasn't really a whole lot of like there was like there's styles of comedy that there's like these eras that we go through. And that period of time had a bunch of comedians who like go out to the mic, they stand there, they tell their jokes. And he was like all over the stage. I think that everybody just liked his energy. I mean, I don't know what else it could be.
When I was doing stand up, I was amateur, right? So I was like seeing all young comics coming in, trying everything. If you've ever seen, there's a movie with Sally Fields and Tom Hanks. I think it's called Punchline. It's fucking great. It's a great movie. It's just a movie about stand-up comedy, being a stand-up comic. I believe it's called Punchline.
Let me see if it's
absolutely
available.
Wonderful movie. I would watch it again. I love it so much. I've seen it multiple times. But it did a really great job in the same way that kind of Lenny captured the Lenny Bruce era of comedy. I thought that Punchline did a really great job at kind of showing people what it was like to be a comic trying to make it up through, the comedy store that you get to play at. And
Punchline 1988. It's available on Amazon Prime and then for rental all these other places.
fantastic fucking movie. Sally Fields they're both great. Tom Hanks, Sally Fields is wonderful. It's a beautiful movie. And I think that it does a great job, like I said, capturing sort of the plight, of a young comic. But anyway, there were like a lot of great comics in back then. And fucking that guy. What's his name again?
Mitch Hedberg?
No, the guy, Dane Cook. I'm sorry he lost all his money. I'm sorry his brother fucking ended up committing a massive crime against him. That's fucking terrible. I can't imagine the devastation of knowing that like your entire future has been totally compromised by one fucking greedy asshole. And the guy you put in charge of, you're like, my brother's not going to fucking do me. Like that's what you're thinking, right? Like you're not putting your brother in charge because he's like, he's got the most talent. You're putting your brother in charge because you're already afraid somebody's going to be stealing from you. And this fucking guy gets fucking raked for 12 million straight. I still don't give a shit about Dane Cook though, but the story is intriguing. I have another story. Do you want to hear it?
Yes.
Because it's so fucking funny. This guy, you got to wonder, like sometimes you see these people who make it in life to these high fucking ranks. They make it to millionaire, billionaire, whatever, heads of studios, fucking stars around. Where Ethan Suplee is a great example because, you were saying like, you were kind of like, whatever, you were being self-critical over saying that, basically that Ethan isn't the sharpest tool in the shed or wasn't.
He doesn't fucking act like it in a deposition. That's for
He
sure.
wasn't, dude. I'm telling you, like I can just tell you right now that he just wasn't. And it's not a slight on his character. It's just who he was. He wasn't like, he's not the guy you'd be like, Ethan, I've been thinking. You don't come with him. I've been thinking that you're going nowhere. That's like, you might as well be having a conversation with a bowl of fucking Jello. But Mike Lindell, he's one of these guys where you just can't believe. If you don't know who Mike Lindell is, he's the My Pillow guy who is in love with Donald Trump, right? Like that's the best way to describe it, right?
He's in a cult.
He's in love with him, right?
He's devoted to the cult leader. Yeah.
So this motherfucker is running for governor, or was.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my
Mike
God.
Lindell was running for governor in the great state of Minnesota. And he was in the primary, and he lost by double digits, Angela.
Yeah, of course he did.
But listen, he lost the fucking primary by double digits, and this genius, this business savvy genius, is going to pay for an audit.
Wow.
He's going to recount the state.
So that because he thinks he can make back his double-digit
loss. This is a guy who made it to the top in life.
Well, that's really interesting because he became famous in American politics because he was not willing to accept the results of any election. So, of course, he thinks that any election he's involved in is going to be fucking rigged or whatever. Jesus.
I do have actually one more story because there's this.
Hang on a second.
Okay.
Because we have some folks in the chat.
Okay, let's hear it.
Who want to share their picks for favorite comedians.
Oh, great.
This is really great.
I love it.
So the Junk Farm is so appalled that we didn't mention Norm Macdonald, and he's right.
He's absolutely right. And Robin Williams is in there for me, even if his stand-up could get exhausting at times. But of course, Norm Macdonald. Of course.
The Junk Farm also said that Judy Tenuta was way better than Roseanne.
I don't know Judy Tenuta.
I'm sure she was.
Roseanne was a solid comic, though. Jim Carrey came up then, obviously. He was amazing. Have you ever seen any of his stand-up?
I have, yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, he's a fucking weirdo. It's fun.
Super fun.
Also, Jane Nicholson is with us. Said Billy Connolly for me.
Oh, great comedian. Mm-hmm. Great comedian.
It's true.
See, like, it was a really, really, like, and by the way, like, even through those 2000s, because, like, you have guys like Doug Stanhope coming up through then. And
yes, Doug Stanhope is super weirdo fun. Also, speaking of weirdos, the Junk Farm said I like Sam Kinison, too.
Yeah, well, see, for me, he was a little too shouty.
Well, he had that fucking gimmick, and then he did it all the goddamn time.
He died in the Canadian-American border there in Washington. I was living in Vancouver at the time.
It was a big time for gimmick comics, you know, like Ernest Goes to Camp type shit. Like there was like you had to have a gimmick if you were going to be like a super famous comedian. Sam Kinison was just like,
yeah, he had the whole
I'm
like,
going to scream in the mic.
costume.
That's
and,
fucking
like,
weird.
It was a little much for me, but he was funny.
I can't believe I don't even remember a single joke that Gallagher ever said. I
Yeah.
just remember that people would have to wear ponchos because he smashed watermelons, and I'm like, how the fuck did we ever get there? Like, what do you mean in popular culture we all just accepted that there's a comedian that smashes watermelons with a giant hammer on stage? Like, what the fuck? Why is that entertaining? It's like we're a bunch of toddlers.
I did props for 2 shows.
Props.
Yeah, my first show I ever did, I poured.
Oh yeah, like Carrot Top. That was the '90s though.
Yeah, I poured water on my crotch to act as if I peed myself, and then I poured water in, like I wet my armpits to act as if I was just soaked wet, because it was my very first show. I actually got in the papers for doing it.
Is that a prop comedy?
Well, I got in the papers because of it.
But is that prop though?
And they called it a prop in the paper, so I am. The paper said they didn't even mention my name, but I've never forgotten it because it was the very first time that anybody has ever said that I did something good in my life. And I did a 5-minute set, and there was writers in the audience because it was a big Canadian comedian who was headlining, who was a Winnipeg native, and he was having success. He was on an American sitcom, and he was having success on an American sitcom, and I opened up for him, you know, along with the other amateurs, and and then somebody said, and it was like a write up about him, his return to Winnipeg, and then they said at the end of the article, the very end of the article, they were like, an amateur made great mileage with a wet spot on his jeans.
You're like, that's me.
Some kind of prop that. That was it. I bought 50 fucking newspapers, dude.
So
I was sending it to everybody. It was like, you want to see something crazy in the bar? You want to see something crazy? I got one in my car. I'll be right back. And I'll bring the whole fucking paper. You know, you got to unfold the fucking thing. And you wait. And then the article was like it was like a big column. It was like a 250, 300, maybe 400 word article, and I had like 9 words at the bottom without my name.
You're like, see, he didn't mention my name, he's talking about me right there.
I'm like, I called my mom. Mom, I'm in the paper. My mom's like, oh my God, Dale, oh my God, goes gets the paper. Where are you? Oh yeah, that is you, because she was there, so she knows that the guy's actually talking about me. But she was like, how's anyone gonna know that it was you though, honey? I'm like, well, you were there, Mom. She's like, I know, but people who read this, they're just not going to know who did it.
That's fucked up, man.
And the other time I did props was I was well into my vegetarianism, and I was sick and tired of people asking me why I'm a vegetarian or vegetarian shit. And it was like and I was very annoyed by it. And
it's
so
really interesting because usually vegetarians are the first ones in the group to tell everybody about it.
Vegans, you're talking about vegans.
Yeah.
Vegetarians they're like Gen X. They're just like, fuck off, leave me alone, and pass the carrots. So I went to like the grocery store and I bought like sweetbreads and kidney and liver, and then I wrapped it in cling wrap with like a tie, and I just threw it at people in the audience.
Dale, I don't think that's prop comedy. That sounds like assault.
They loved it.
They did?
Yeah, they loved it.
No way.
I made hysterics.
Hysterics.
No, but it all stayed in the baggies.
That's expected.
I was doing things like I was offering things. I was like, people ask me.
I would squeal, but it wouldn't be because I liked the act you were doing. It'd be because I just had fucking meat thrown at me.
I did not get fired.
Oh my God. You're not supposed to take out your anger on an audience, Dale. That's like rule number 1. But
right,
whatever.
well,
what do I know?
You don't know anything, so just stop. I kid. You know everything. I love you. You're the fucking love of my life, and I'm just so lucky to have you. Clive Barker is coming back.
Oh, sweet.
He's got a new anthology called The Library of the Dead.
Nice.
I want to say this about...
Can you imagine if he was coming back and he had a new anthology and it was like cozy romance? Like if it was like
gay
Hallmark
romance.
Channel, like Meet Cute, like
gay romance.
And all of his fans were like turning pages like, when does the fucking haunting start? When does the gore happen? It just never happens. That'd be amazing.
I think that Clive Barker is the Edgar Allan Poe of our time. I think that his writing is the most beautiful, macabre you can ever read. He is. I mean, it's not always. He's not always horror, I guess, but he's always dark though, and certainly abstract. And he is one of the most prolifically beautiful writers I've ever read. And so I'm excited for this. I'm going to read it. He is really one of the great writers of our time that I think goes completely unnoticed.
I have to ask you, you compared him to Edgar Allan Poe. One of the things that I love about Edgar Allan Poe that makes him so unique is that he really gets into the mind and will like narrate the dysfunctional thinking of like a paranoid, demented person who doesn't know that they're acting crazy. And it'll just like go through like the inner ruminating and paranoid delusions. And Edgar Allan Poe will be able to like articulate that, even though he's obviously capable of, you know, being rational enough to write it. So it's like, wow, you're really venturing in there. Is that kind of what Clive Barker does? Because I've never read any of his work.
No, I more think that Clive Barker has the beauty and the prose and the command and the poetry, like cadence of an Edgar Allan Poe. Not so much the.
That's neat.
Actually, Clive Barker has a very. I would say he's got a maybe even a wider sort of scope in terms of, you know, like his approach that way. You're right. I mean, Poe is so internal. And
yeah, where like you read this and you're like, how is he not insane if he knows how to write insanity so well?
Yeah, it's quite amazing. Anyway, Clive Barker's coming back, and I'm excited about it. I'm excited for people who are fans of him, but I'm just excited in general that this guy, who I don't even know how old he is, but he's still putting him out. And I hope that
That's neat.
if you like this dude, that you'll it looks dope. He's got this like go away. It's got like a box set or whatever, and yeah, I'm fucking stoked, man. I don't even know how old he is, but I love him. You used to know his husband, right?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I went to high school with a guy who was, I don't know if he was husbands, but he was his partner for a really long time. And I don't know if they still are or not.
Johnny?
Yes.
They are.
Oh, yeah. Johnny's great. I went to high school with him. He's really, really super sweethart.
They've been together since 2009.
Oh, that's nice.
And
I love Johnny.
73 years old is Clive Barker, and he looks fab. He looks kind of like Roy Schreider. You know who that is?
Yeah. Yep. From Jaws, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great.
Anyway, Clive Barker, and it's not the Hellraisers and all other stuff that I love him for. It's like The Great and Secret Show and Weave World and the Books of Blood. Oh, amazing! Read this guy if you haven't. He's fucking amazing. Just read him.
Yeah, I should.
The Great and Secret Show is a great place to start. Dale, did you catch my email or comment I just posted here from the beginning of this video? Oh, I didn't see it. No. I'm sorry. Where would I find it? It's also Janice, by the way, Janice Nicholson.
Oh, it's an email address. I'm just going to screenshot this real quick.
Oh, okay, great.
Oh, because you were saying that you wanted to keep track of I Am Bobo.
Oh, yeah, I got to track Bobo.
So you're going to write an email next time. Where have you been?
No, I'm gonna send her instructions on how to insert the chip into her
Tracking chip?
her dominant hand.
You know, this is not the future that I envisioned when I was a kid and I was watching Back to the Future. I was like, cool, floating skateboards. That's going to be dope. Nope. Instead, we have tracking.
It was looking good for a minute.
And mass surveillance and people telling you can't cross a state border. And
It was looking good for a minute, though.
Yep.
Like for a minute when I was playing cribbage with my dad on MSN. 2001. Hollywood, let's change it up for a bit is my last story. Living paycheck to paycheck as a struggling streamer into becoming cast as Rogue in the new MCU DC film. So, and the headline Hollywood, let's change it up a bit. But there's a lot of scrutiny going on. There's always constantly a lot of scrutiny. We were just talking about the other day. I can't remember which video game it was, but it's a video game where the writers have been writing on this video game for a decade. It's a massive hit. Like think The Witcher, but I think it was like Warhammer. I think it's Warhammer or something. I don't know. Like this, where it's like a complete universe and a world and languages and people and lovers and whatever, and just like George R. R. Martin kind of shit, like in terms of depth of world building and so on and so forth. And fucking Hollywood hires Johnny Pitcher, Johnny fucking screenplay writer, pitch guy walks in. I got the angle, boss.
Oh yeah,
and they give him the pitch.
Right.
And they don't hire
any of the writers,
any of the fucking writers who've been working
from the video game
on the IP from its original
who are
fucking
absolutely
state.
Capable of really making it sing.
Can not only that, but like can avoid things that will piss the fans off.
Oh,
this
yeah,
is the most
right.
important thing
For sure.
is that you're not gonna like write some kind of love scene.
These
Idiots, dude. So anyway, this kid whose name is, what's her fucking name? Who's playing? God damn it! It's just a tweet, and I don't know who her name is because I don't follow these bloody. What's it called? What's MCU? I don't know what MCU is.
Marvel Universe, Marvel, whatever. I don't know, man.
Anyway, this actor, she was like, so the picture.
I'm looking it up.
I'll put it up. I'll put it up for you guys while Angela's looking it up. But look, there she is, as a YouTuber or whatever, or fucking streamer.
I'm sorry. Are you saying that Indy Navarrete is cast as Rogue?
Yeah, is it Indy Navarrete? Is that who that is? It is, isn't it?
Yes, but we just watched
Her. She was in
Obsession.
Obsession. So, but she started as she was a YouTuber. I don't know if you can see it because I know your monitor's not going to be set up until Monday, but
yeah, I got it here.
Isn't that wild?
Mm-hmm.
So pretty cool, It's like a Justin Bieber story, kind of, Oops.
Well, that's so weird that they're framing it that they are casting her now and that she's like a struggling YouTuber because obviously she's in the biggest movie that was it A24, whatever.
Yeah.
She's like, she's big shit right now. So of course
she's the biggest.
But that's so strange that they're framing her like from 2 years ago.
What's also interesting is that she's like, she was fucking, what do you call it?
What's happening?
She was streaming because we're in, the era of streaming. Everybody else was waiting tables and they still doing that, of course. But like, I remember Danny Glover, like there was like a photo or something that went around of Danny Glover being a, street performer or whatever in like one of them costumes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So maybe it wasn't Danny Glover because he was in a costume, but they were saying this was Danny Glover in a costume before he was like,
yeah,
got his break. You know what I mean?
But she's getting cast in Marvel movies because she is like a breakout sensation from Obsession, not because she was a fucking streamer. It's such a strange. It's just.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't know it was. I didn't realize that's who it was because I recognized her, but I'm bad with this shit because of the photos. I know who it was.
Because the photos.
Yeah, like first of all, like the character that she played in Obsession it doesn't really look like her like default face because it's in this. She was so in that character that I can't.
She really contorted her face a lot in that
Yeah.
movie. It was really, really sensational performing. Like she was really like there's that one where she does a creepy, insincere smile, like a overly forced smile.
Yeah, that
with
weird.
like where her eyes get all close. She just looks like a cartoon character. It's amazing. She's so good.
I love.
Good for
I love the
her.
work.
She's gonna make a fucking giant fat paycheck. That's awesome.
Yep. She's getting the big bucks, man. Going down. Do you know how much money Tom Holland is likely to make at this point, based on the almost $2 billion, or maybe it's past $2 billion, that Spider-Man movie has made?
Dale, I'm just astonished that you give a shit about this. This has been a very, very entertainment news heavy podcast this time. I can't imagine that you care about how much Tom Holland is going to make from Spider-Man. What is it? How much is Tom Holland going to make from Spider-Man?
I'm not even going to tell you. A lot more than you're going to make doing a big podcast about shaming your podcast partner for talking about this thing because it came up.
For sure.
It wasn't like headline news. I wasn't like, today we start the show with how much Tom Holland's going to be making on Spider-Man. It was just like we're at the water cooler. Mm-hmm. We're having a talk. And I'm like, by the way, holy fuck, is this kid making away with a bag? It's $100 million. $100 million.
Good
one
for
movie.
Him. That's good.
How do you think the fucking cast of Lord of the Rings feels now?
He does a shit ton of stunts, so it's not like he's not taking on a huge amount of risk,
Well, after being shamed by Angela for...
Stop it.
I'll just go about the rest of my lonely, stupid life. I'm dropping these cut versions of these lives, which are now podcasts that are being released on all the podcast platforms out there that I could get the host to connect me with. That includes Apple. That includes Spotify. That includes Amazon podcasts and more. But do go and check it out if you just want to go and have a listen to the show that's been edited into something that I hope is entertaining and fun. And check it out on the main channel. If you're listening to this podcast on Apple or wherever and you want to come and check out the live, we're here every Tuesday and Thursday, unless a dog emergency or something like that happens, and then we have to bow out. But every Tuesday and Thursday, you can find us at between 6 and 8 p.m. On YouTube. And you can look me up by saying, I hate me. I hate going through this. So just search for Dale Wheatley, or It's Not the Dale Wheatley Show. Or
it does feel so inauthentic to just be like, find me on the internet and follow the things I say. It's just so strange.
I'll tell you this, though.
We did not evolve from the caves to do this, I think is what you're feeling. You just have this sense within you.
I'm not a great self-promoter. And
no, of course not. Who fucking is? I don't trust anybody that is.
But I will say that I'm cutting these lives together and they're fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun podcast and it's made fun by, again, I've said it over and over again, but by the great reactions and friends that we have who've been hanging out with us for, the over a year that we've sort of begun this journey. And they just make it very interesting and very fun. And it translates well into the podcast format. So I'm really enjoying the journey. And if you ever feel like sharing or just hanging out with us when we're not live, give one of those a click, or just share those with your friends if you want to be like, hey, I like these fucking fools from Georgia. Come check it out, and you can send them, a nice clean episode that is only 2 hours instead of 2 hours and 16 minutes. Actually, there was one episode there. I think the one that just dropped. It was like a 3-hour live, and it's just over 2 hours.
You condensed it.
Yeah, I took almost an hour out.
Yeah, that's great.
A lot of me going, what was that guy's name?
I know. Let me look this up. Hang on a second. Let me just...
Does anyone out? I'm having a lapse of memory. I think it was 1900 and...
There's an hour of that.
77, maybe. All right, you guys. You're wonderful hanging out. To hang up. All right, you guys. It's been fun hanging out with you guys. I hope you've had fun as well. And we'll be back on Monday, I suppose.
Yep.
And I'll be editing all weekend long. So if you have anything you want me to cut out, just feel free to write us at freedonsplum@gmail.com. And don't forget to check out the book, Too Real, A Hollywood Memoir. Good night, you guys.
In the meantime, I will be hiding in a jar of pasta sauce.
That's it. Dan Cook will never find you.
No one will ever find me.
Dan Cook will never find you. Oh, where's Angela?
Brilliant plan.
It's like the guy lost every round of hide and seek as a kid, didn't he?